Good afternoon. If you're a college baseball fan, there is only one place to be the next week and a half. And we have been in Omaha since 1950. It's the 76th College World Series. And the ball is on the tee for what may be the best ever.
There are the days that merely happen in our lives, and then there are the days by which we mark our lives, like June in Omaha. Since 1947, the Men's College World Series has played host to college baseball's best. But this year's Field of Eight has somehow taken that idea of the best and made it better. They're pretty much all here. A two-way player legend, a revenge tour, a team defending the honor of an entire half of the map, brand name programs seeking to be the last team standing, or, okay, dogpile. We even have a team making its first trip to Omaha since winning it all when Eisenhower was president. Oh, and Cinderella's at this dance, too.
Roberts has come back to win. Guess what, guys? We get another trip to Omaha.
Oral Roberts has won 31 of 33 games, but faces a TCU team that's 9-0 in the postseason. Then, college baseball's Shohei Ohtani, Jack Caglione, leads Florida against catcher Kyle Teal and the Who's from Virginia.
I'll take you down, I'll lift you up. Oh, baby, I was born for this. Feel it down in my bones. No, I just can't go. Why can't we? Don't you know, baby, I was born for this.
Gather around for this summer hardball festival we weren't merely born for, we live for. Welcome back to Omaha.
Don't you know, baby, I was born for this, yeah.
Welcome back. The Golden Eagles have a lot of special qualities. You would think being just the third #4 seed to make it to Omaha ever would be enough, but no. They have a transfer, Jonah Cox, who's taken the road less traveled to ORU. He's currently riding a 47-game hit streak into Omaha, and that has made all the difference for this team.
47 in a row. Hit streak continues.
I'm not really thinking about it. If you do things that you want to help your team win, the game will kind of reward you. I just want to do everything I can to help the team win.
In order to do what he's done, to have a streak like he's had, I think several things have to happen. You better be a good player. He's definitely a good player. The second thing you have to have is you have to have some good people around you.
It's so exciting watching him hit every single day. I want to see him go even longer.
Anytime you're on the team when one of your teammates is doing something that only 4 or 5 other people have done, it's pretty special to see.
His teammates are in awe. They've held their breath multiple times with the streak on the line, but Coach Fulmer put it best. He said this streak is special because it belongs to the whole team, guys.
Yeah, Danny, he's had 1 hit in 3 of his last 4 games. So by the skin of that beard and teeth, he has kept this whole thing going. We'll take a look at our Golden Eagles batting order. It's brought to you by Capital One. And it looks like this, with McMurray at the top, followed by Justin Quinn, Jonah Cox on the hit streak, Matt Hogan, followed by Mac McCroskey, Holden Breeze, Drew Stahl, Jacob Godman is your catcher, and Blaze Brothers. All right, let's talk about the pitcher, Cole Klecker. He's on the mound for TCU.
Yeah, just a freshman. Began the year in the bullpen. Made his way to the Sunday, then the Saturday, and finally the Friday night guy, and opening up here at the College World Series.
86 degrees for the first pitch. And there it is. In there for a strike. Klecker's a freshman, 6'2", 205, out of Chandler, Arizona.
Yeah, 3-pitch mix. You see what he does. Fastball, breaking ball, and the changeup. He'll vary that breaking ball. Throw a little bit slower, then a little bit harder. Give you 2 different shapes.
Ball. Just missed off. Let's set the defense behind him. Braden Taylor, who is the Big 12 tournament MVPs at third base. Anthony Silva's a freshman at shortstop. Terrific. Trey Richardson is an inspirational leader, does everything. Cole Fontenelle is at first. Next pitch popped up. First baseman is Fontenelle. In fair territory, the first out of this 2023 Men's College World Series is made on a pop-up.
And that's what you're going to see from Klecker. He likes that 4-seam fastball. He can really spin it, so he's going to throw it to the top part of the strike zone. When he's on, he's getting pop-ups and swings underneath that. And, of course, he'll mix in that breaking ball and change up as well.
And this is a perfect ballpark for a fly ball pitcher. Big ballpark, a lot bigger than a lot of teams are used to. Now, Oral Roberts is a team that is accustomed to playing in a big ballpark. It is very similar to the one here in Charles Schwab.
Luke Boyers is in left field. Eli Nunez in center. Austin Davis in right. Here's Justin Quinn. He swings at the first one and sends this one into the corner in left. It is tailing into foul territory. So how'd you guys like to be Justin Quinn, who's got a 16-game hit streak, which is really good.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
Until your teammate.
Until the guy behind you is doing just a tad better.
It's got a 47-1 going.
He's all right. He's just hiding. He's hiding back there with 16.
Swings at the second and fouls it off. A .351 batting average, 7 homers. This is a team that can run, man. They have stolen a bunch, nearly 200 stolen bases. And when they get on, they will challenge Carson Bowen behind the plate. Quinn followed by Jonah Cox. And Cole Klecker is ahead 0-2. All right, we got the bull. We checked that box.
I like it. If you're going to miss up 0-2.
Well, you know, look, these first innings, and look, you're talking about a true freshman now. You're talking about a kid that was 17 years old when the season began, just turned 18. So you can imagine what the heart rate's doing for him right now, right? He's trying to slow the heartbeat down, trying to get in his rhythm, trying to figure out what's working for him.
He throws one in the dirt there with some movement, a slider that was blocked, but it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Klecker's last time out was his career best for his young career, I should say. And 7 innings of work, 3 hits, no runs, only walked 1, punched out a season high. And of course, that was in game 1 of the Super Regional against Indiana State.
Another foul ball. You'll probably see a lot of foul balls. Klecker is not, as Ben just pointed out, not a huge strikeout guy. And by the way, this College World Series is loaded with strikeout pitchers, both starters and relievers, closers. Klecker is not that guy in spite of the 9 strikeouts against Indiana State.
But all these foul balls back like this just tells you that he's got good spin, good stuff. A lot of hitters think they're going to barrel it. Next thing you know, it's a little bit by you, and it continues to have that vertical movement.
Just gravity just doesn't affect it like the average fastball, right? It just stays on plane through the zone a little bit longer.
Quinn putting together a good at bat. He was the guy, and again, there's all sorts of moments within a game in which you look back on. I think that was the difference. But he kept Roberts' season alive. He had that 2-run walk-off single against Oregon in game 2 of the Supers. Remember game 1 of the Supers, they were ahead 8-0 and lost to Oregon and still bounced back. And that one sails high, 3-2. So Quinn doing a good job of forcing some extra pitches and maybe getting ahead of Klecker. Yesterday during batting practice, all teams take batting practice, get on the field. The wind was blowing out. It's coming in today. Another foul ball. And this Texas Christian team has showed us that they can both win by using the long ball and also by getting on and running around the bases, sacrifices as well. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming to Justin Quinn. And to short, diving off the glove of Anthony Silva. Looked like he just lost his footing. And instead of a real dive, almost fell into it off his glove. And that is a single for Quinn. What an effort by Silva.
Great jump he had. The problem was, and you're right, lost his footing. Slipped right when he was supposed to dive. This ball's barreled on a line the other way. Able to get on top of it. Watch Silva on his first step. This will be a better look right here. Beautifully done. What an athlete. You're looking at 6'2", 200 pounds.
Here comes Jonah Cox in his 47-game hit streak, and he swings at the first one, and that was by him at 90 miles an hour. So when you have a hit streak of 47 games, your batting average is going to be massive, and for the junior, it's .420, and the OPS is almost 1150. This is off. On the ground, here's Silva, flip to second. Richardson to first. The 47-game hit streak will stay there on a 6-4-3 double play. Old Klecker gets it done, and now we'll see the Frogs come to the plate for the first time.
Oral Roberts is headed to the Men's College World Series. TCU is headed back to Omaha. Let's go to Omaha! Virginia will go back to Omaha.
Gators have done it. They're heading back to the College World Series.
The Gators are loaded. Caglione gets a lot of the attention, but they are deep. Their pitching is terrific, and they are trying to get Kevin O'Sullivan another College World Series title. Take a look at the TCU Horned Frogs batting order. Nunez has been outstanding at the top, and then you get into Bowen, Braden Taylor. As the teammates say, you really have no other option but to love the guy, and we'll talk more about him. Botnell, Richardson, Burns, Silva, Boyers is in left field today. Austin Davis continues to just get on the field. He has started every game seemingly for the last 20 years. Jacob Hall is going to be on the mound for Oral Roberts. What does he bring, Ben?
Well, he's sophomore. Fastball's 88 to 92. I tell you what, it's a 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball, so he'll pitch down. He elevates when he needs to, but make no mistake about it, the out pitch for him, the changeup, is his best of his 4 pitches.
First pitch down to Eli Nunez. He's the center fielder. He made an unbelievable catch in May that may have kept their College World Series hopes alive, and he had 4 hits in a game against Arkansas in a regional game, but he grounds out to the second baseman. Blaze Brothers will set the infield for you. It's Holden Breeze at third. Mac McCroskey's your shortstop. Blaze Brothers, Jake McMurray is at first. Justin Quinn, Jonah Cox in center. Matt Hogan left to right behind the plate. Jacob Godman. It's pretty cool. You got a Breeze and a Blaze on the infield.
Well, this Oral Roberts team, they can do it on defense. It is the #1 fielding percentage defense in all of college baseball.
Carson Bowen. And that helps, especially in this ballpark. You talk to coaches that have been here before. If you can have 3 center fielders playing in left, center, and right, it helps. It's a huge outfield, but you've got to be able to pick it.
And again, one of the least of the teams that has to make an adjustment out there in the outfield. They can run them down.
Hall fires away again, and Bowen swings and misses.
Now there's the good changeup. You see it at 81 miles an hour, and it's got some good left to right in it. So he'll kind of backdoor it to the right-hander, start it off the plate, work it back over, and then he'll start it on the plate to the left-handers and work it off the outside part.
Bowen's hitting .355, 6 homers, 46 runs batted in. He's got 9 hits in the NCAA tournament. You see a handful of freshmen playing for Kirk Saarloos. Very different than the team from Oral Roberts. They use the transfer portal. They are old, man. They got seniors and juniors, and that's it.
Old is good, though.
Old is good in baseball.
Old is good in college baseball.
It has been a recipe for success the last few years. Take you back to Notre Dame, who made it, knocked off Tennessee last year, a very old team.
Shallow right, that's going to drop in front of Matt Hogan. And the first base runner of the day for TCU, Carson Bowen, continues his tournament hot hitting, his 10th. And first one of the day in this College World Series. All right, the regionals and supers, the Frogs, look what they did. They can win any way you want. 4-13, they hit 10 homers in the regionals. Then in the supers, they didn't hit much at all, but they averaged 5 runs and were able to roll through it. 3-0 in the Big 12 tournament, 3-0 at Fayetteville, 2-0 in the supers where they beat Indiana State at home. Now Braden Taylor, the third baseman, the big pop guy in this lineup, 23 homers in the first pitch, misses outside.
Yeah, TCU was able to play at home in the Super Regionals, even though Indiana State was a higher seed. Because of the activities that were going on in Indiana State, they did not bid.
Another one off. Brothers at second base is shaded up the middle, and with McMurray holding Bowen on at first, there's a whole bunch of room if Taylor were to put one on the ground on the right side. You can see it there. 2-0. There's another good changeup at 82.
Jacob Hall was the opening day starter for Oral Roberts. He's been in that role the entire year. Of course, started game 1 of the regionals, started game 1 of the Super Regionals, and it is elite command, folks. I'm talking about 15 walks is all he's got in 93 2/3 coming in.
And he never has to worry about a pitch clock. This is a guy that gets it and goes.
Not a big lead at first. Yet throwing over and supposed to be coming in from the bench.
Not going, and the next pitch gets a piece of the outside corner.
Now that's Jacob Hall at his best right there. He's one of those guys that's not going to give in, right? Just because it's 2-0 or 3-1, you think you're getting heater, you're not necessarily going to get it. He can bend the backdoor breaking ball. He can take a little bit off with the changeup.
Bigger lead now.
Not going, and that one is off. Good take there by Braden Taylor, who really watched that go all the way into the glove of Godman. Senior behind the plate, senior at first, senior at second, redshirt senior at short, junior at third. Pitching staff gave up a bunch of homers. And in fact, Hall been knocked around a little bit against OK State and Oregon. 5 runs, 12 hits, 6 Ks, and just 7 2/3.
Yeah, Hall's given up 13 homers this year, 93 2/3, so not great.
Taylor just hooks that thing foul, but he had home run pop on that.
90-mile-per-hour fastball he was ahead on. In the meantime, Carson Bowen at first dancing around a little bit. He's a 9 of 11 in stolen bases, having a conversation at first as we see Kirk Saarloos.
You that far out in front of a 3-2 fastball tells me you're not respecting anything off speed at all. Watch out for the changeup right here.
3-2, runner goes, and he pulls it foul.
There it was.
He just didn't get it to the outside part, right? He left it a little bit far inside, and so was able to make contact. If that ball's fading down the way, he probably gets a strikeout. But the hitter will always tell you what he's doing and what his approach is. So way out in front of a fastball, there's a good look at the changeup. You can see where the catcher, Godman, was set up. He wanted that ball clearly on the outside part, kind of yanked it down and in.
Taylor was once the number 188 high school prospect in the country. He's now the best player on TCU's team. 3-2. And this one driven to center field. That sends Cox back, and now he stops. He's under it and makes the play. A lot easier to hit it out when he pulled it than when he hit it there to graveyard in center field, especially with the wind blowing in and to right. So there are 2 down. Here comes Cole Fontenelle. He's the first baseman. Okay, the other thing is this World Series unfolds, Ben. It's like every guy is as big as you and Eduardo. They're just big
Isn't it amazing
players.
how big the players are? Like, we get to go on the field and talk to them, and I'm just amazed every year. It just seems like the players get bigger and stronger and faster. And I mean, the jackhammer, right? Jack Caglione in Florida. That dude's a monster. Paul Skeens is a monster.
They are a lot bigger than what I thought they were, already knowing the numbers.
I'm not kidding. When Caglione walked up from Florida, I thought he had somebody's clown shoes on, and because it looked like that. I said, "Dude, whose shoes you got?" He said, "They're mine." I said, "What size shoe do you wear?" He goes, 17. I was like, "Oh my gosh, 6'5", 245 with a 17 shoe."
So they had to go to the football team to get his shoes. That's how big they are.
They didn't come in the regular order, Ben, for the baseball team.
Almost had to go to the circus to get them. You know, I mean, they're that big. But I mean, this is a dude who's got, what, 31 homers, leads the nation, gets on the mound.
97.
From the left side, 96, 97. Oh, ho hum.
1-1 to Fontenelle. That's high and outside, and he's nicknamed Jack Tani for Otani, who now, by the way, in the major leagues is tied with Alonso for the major league lead in homers. He was outstanding on the mound last night. And Caglione shows no interest in stopping pitching or hitting. Swing and a miss. And I say, why not? I mean, Otani's proven it can be done.
Yes.
As unique as he is.
Every 100 years it can be done. That's kind of what's going on at the big league level. But, yeah, in college, yes. I think one will eventually win out for Jack Caglione. Yes.
Runner goes here. Fontenelle swings and misses, and that will be a punch out for Hall. That's the 3rd out. We are in Omaha at the College World Series. We've got the clown show going, just a red nose short of a circus, and man, the food is... There's a size 17 kielbasa there. He was known then as the Titans. They played as an independent, and some of the guys that were on that 78 team have come here to support this edition. They beat Carolina 11-zip, lost to Arizona, and then Miami.
How cool is that, huh?
Those that played for Oral Roberts, and we know, are very proud of playing for Oral Roberts.
It's a bond. Once you get to Omaha, that team you'll never forget.
Popped way back up here. Matt Hogan, Mac McCroskey, Holden Breeze for Oral Roberts here in the second inning. One of those guys that did play for Oral Roberts, of course, is the catcher for the New York Yankees. That's Jose Trevino. And you talk about a cheerleader for the program. He's going to join us during this telecast. That ball is hit high and deep to right field, right on the track. And it is caught out there by Austin Davis. Matt Hogan just missed what would have been his 19th home run.
Just missed it. This ballpark holds a lot.
30 regionals, 2 supers, 2 times. 78 in here to the Men's College World Series, including 2023. Ryan Fulmer is in his 11th year as head coach. Jordan Romano is another of the current alumni in the majors. Both he and Trevino all-stars last year. First pitch in there to McCroskey. 89 miles an hour. And it's 1-0. We expect huge crowds with the programs that are here. Of course, LSU tends to bring a lot, but Tennessee, Virginia, Wake Forest has a whole bunch of folks. Looking forward to seeing if a #1 can win the whole thing.
Man, I am looking forward to seeing that Wake Forest club. Heard a lot about them. Haven't seen them yet in person.
We'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. They are the day game tomorrow. Wake Forest will take on Stanford. Stanford, of course, with that thrilling victory against Texas, where the ball was lost in the lights.
Yes.
On the ground to short, fielded Silva. Good throw.
That's fundamental baseball right there at shortstop from a true freshman. The way he was able to get himself in position for that baseball, funnel the ball straight into the glove towards the belly button, and then follow the throw. Watch this right here. Gets himself in position, does the exchange tight to the body, and then follows that throw. Perfectly done and executed.
Next up, Holden Breeze, a .317 average. Hasn't gotten it going yet in the postseason. 1 for 12 in the supers in Eugene. He's very consistent, though. Kind of a quiet guy. Goes about his business. Oral Roberts as a university, very, very small. The 5,000 there as a student population. So just imagine coming here to play in front of this crowd on this stage.
That's a pretty good start to your day right there.
Next one to Breeze, and that breezes by him. A little high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jose Trevino and the Yankees are at Fenway Park, where they'll begin the first of 3. We'll have that game Sunday night, and he will join us in the next half inning to talk about Oral Roberts and his experience there.
What we see in one of our 200 pages of notes, which surprised me a little bit, Oral Roberts.
You got 200 pages?
More, probably more than that. I didn't say I looked at all 200 of them. But more wins than any other school in Oklahoma since 2000, right? More wins in baseball than Oklahoma State, than Oklahoma, than anybody in the state of Oklahoma. And that's big time when you think about it. From a school that's got a little over 4,000 students there, right?
Yep.
You're looking at the Summit League as well. This team is represented really well in the state, and they've gone out and they've beat teams. They have a history also against TCU that they have a over 500 record against TCU lifetime.
3-2, and that is laced right back up the middle. That's a really good sign for Oral Roberts as Holden Breeze delivers. A single right back up the middle on a 3-2 pitch, so he's aboard with 2 down.
Hit it right back up the middle. Holden Breeze seeing the fastball up in the zone and just barrels it right back up the middle.
Yeah, I feel like the approach so far for Oral Roberts is very good. Klecker, we talked about, going to pitch to the top of zone. They're working really hard to get there, and boy, he gets to that one. Of course, you always get your little, what is that, a gummy worm over there?
Yeah. Danny is actually our gummy worm specialist, because I've been told, do not ever say those are gummy worms. Is that right, Danny?
It's a 2-headed monster.
Yeah, that's right. Those are twin snakes. They're not gummy worms. And this actually started back in 2021, a bus ride. They were singing a sea shanty song. It was a pirate theme. And you see the first base coach there. That's Jimmy Turk. He decided to take it one step further. He wanted to give his guys a treasure when they got over to first, so he bought the Twin Snakes on that trip, and that has been their treat ever since they get to first base.
So what does he do, Danny? Does he just wad them up in his pocket?
Yeah.
Like just sticks them all in his pocket? He reaches in and
they're
gets
all
one?
hot. They're probably melting.
Don't think about that part. They're good. They're sour and they're sweet and they're delicious, guys.
Jonah Cox, 110 hits on the season. Think about that blood sugar right now for him.
Stahl, that's foul.
Okay, and during this series, you keep an eye on Stahl. One thing that he does do is he pulls the ball big time. And in the college ranks, you can still shift. This is a guy that you can shift against. 0 ground balls towards the right side all season.
A little different ball game than the major leagues with the shift and the other rules.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, we're not having problems with offense in the college game.
No. That one just missed, so.
Well, you can see Klecker a little bit upset about that. He thought he had strike 3.
Stahl's a Minnesota transfer. He has hit 400 in the Super Regionals. 281 average on the season.
If you hadn't been watching college baseball and you're just now tuning in, the strike zone in college baseball is smaller than it has ever been.
Single and a walk, so a little 2-out rally perhaps going now for Oral Roberts. First and second, and Jacob Godman comes up for a team that won 51, which was a Summit League record. And you talk about rebuilding yourself. 17 newcomers this season, including Cox, whose brother Joshua played at Oral Roberts. He transferred from Eastern Oklahoma State, where he hit 431, so the hit streak and the 420 average is not aberrational for that guy. But now it's Godman with Breeze at second and Stahl at first. And another one sails high from Klecker.
Yeah, 17 new faces, and I'm going to tell you, being on teams, and we've been on teams before, it's very rare you bring in that many new faces and a team, for whatever reason, just gels well. I mean, I know they recruit good. They go out and they look at their players. They try to figure out the ones that are going to really fit into their system. This coaching staff did a wonderful job bringing those guys in and having them fit.
They really did. They looked at the personalities, and you look at those 17. Some were signed in August. Some were signed in July. 4 out of the 9 in the lineup came in that period of signing.
So in a lot of ways, Ron Fulmer lives on a high wire, because he's waiting, and as he told us earlier, we're kind of trying to fill positions. We fill needs. A lot of these programs draft athletes and figure out where to put them. If he's got a need and he really zeroes in on a guy and they get him, great.
Yeah.
If they don't, they could be in a little bit of trouble.
What's amazing to me, though, is when you sign guys out of the portal that late, you're not getting a lot of times the most talented players, because a lot of those guys are going early, right? But they're out searching for certain players that are older players that fit their needs.
Well, you don't have enough scholarship, and there really isn't much NIL to go along for those high-end players.
After throwing 4 straight balls in a meeting with Kirk Sarlos, Cole Klecker throws a strike to Jacob Godman. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You've won 31 of 33, and the run differential is 180. 5-1 in the NCAA tournament. And this ball is popped up. Right field. Austin Davis is under it, and there is no 2-out magic from the bottom of the order. Guess who's going to join us when we come back? We are all excited about that guy. Looking forward to talking with you, Jose Trevino. Welcome back, everyone. These are the miles from Omaha and Charles Schwab Field for the teams that are here. Yeah, and Oral Roberts is on that list, and they haven't been on that list very often, but now they are here, and their alumni couldn't be more proud, and I know they're proud of this guy. Jose Trevino, the catcher for the New York Yankees. Man, you bleed Golden Eagle. I know that. You were with us last Sunday, and you were talking about it, getting updates. Tell us what that program meant to you, Jose, and thanks again for being with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for having me. You know, I love that group of coaches there, man. Foamy, Tuffy, we call it Coach Neal, we call him Tuffy. Wes Davis, man, they've been there since I was there, and they committed to me. I committed to them. I remember one of the first things I told them. I was like, hey, look, Like, I only plan on doing 3 years here. I want to get drafted. I want to play professional baseball. And the first thing they told me was, you got our full commitment, and we're going to treat you like a professional baseball player. And they did. They fulfilled their commitment to me, their promises, all that. They did an amazing job, not only with myself, but all the other guys, the guys that are before me, the guys that I played with. I remember, guys like Michael Holloman, Tyler Saladino, Doug Bernier, Jeremy Hefner, all these guys coming back and seeing them work out at Oral Roberts in that awesome indoor facility. Yeah. And it was like, man, these guys have played in the big leagues. These guys are from this program. So it's been real special. And to see how far they've come, that coaching staff and those players, man, they worked their butt off to be there. So it's exciting. It's very exciting.
Trey Richardson's got a 3-2 count as Jacob Hall continues to throw. You also gave back to them, and you told us on Sunday Night Baseball that you were not always a catcher there, and then we find out more. Let's just watch this 3-2 pitch to Richardson for a second. All right, so that's ball 4. That you were part of a team where maybe there was some guys in the field struggling, and they came to you and said, could you mind coming out from behind the plate? And you said what?
I said, yeah, whatever y'all need, whatever you need me to do. I grew up that way, and at Oral Roberts, small school in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you only get so much. Everybody wants to go to the big schools. They want to go with the logo matters, all that stuff. I wanted to go to a program that I was going to play at. And as soon as they asked me, they were like, hey, you mind playing shortstop? I said, whatever y'all need me to do, let's do it.
Well, you went out from catcher, because we just graphically put up 2012 to 14, Jose Trevino catcher. How would you describe your resume then at Oral Roberts? What would you call yourself?
Whatever the team needed, whatever they needed at the point. I remember, I think my freshman year I was going to pitch there too. I think I threw maybe one live BP, but they were like, hey, go back to third base, and if we need you anywhere else, we'll go from there. But that organization, that school has been great, man. And all the people, all the players that I played with there, and the people that I met there, amazing people and great teammates, great friends still. And all the former guys, man, I can't say enough about those guys.
Swinging a miss to Curtis Byrne. Are you on a text chat with a bunch of other ORU guys? I mean, how big is this trip to the World Series?
I've got a few messages going back and forth with a couple of former teammates of mine. I'm actually getting text messages as it's going on right now. But it's been special, guys are, and the biggest thing, I'll tell you this, the biggest thing, like, we're talking about it, we're like, man, I can't believe Oral Roberts is in the College World Series. And what everybody always ends up saying, like, they're like, hey, man, like, those coaches deserve it, man, because those coaches work their tail off, not only for that school, but for us, for the players there in that team.
Here's a pop-up center of the field. The pitcher is underneath it, but he's going to get called off immediately, and it's Breeze who comes in to make the play.
Jose, Jacob Godman's behind the plate. He's been unbelievable when it comes to framing behind the plate. Right now, he's at a framing rate, and I know you know the numbers really well. He's at a framing plus of 149. That's 49% better than the average catcher. Have you seen him? Have you worked with him at all? Have you had conversations with him as Trey Richardson, who has 24 stolen bases, is at first base?
I personally haven't. I know Fulmer has reached out to me to kind of pick my brain on some of the receiving stuff. I was fortunate enough to work with Fulmer and work with another guy there that caught there. Got him. Get him. Safe? Safe.
No umpiring.
Sorry. I was able to work with a guy named Brian Aguilar, who was there, who was a part of the team that went to Supers and Fulmy, man. They were real big with the catching stuff. And as soon as Fulmer saw me doing the one knee down stuff, he was like, hey, like, can I have a conversation with you just to pick your brain on some of the stuff that's going on? So, he's very into it. He likes it. He loves the position of catching and stuff. So it was great.
All right, Jose, the freshman Anthony Silva, the shortstop, is up. Richardson is certainly a threat to run, so he's in the head of Jacob Hall. One thing we heard from Fulmer and all those guys is that there's a different way about Oral Roberts baseball. Small campus that you talked about, but they look for certain types of people as Richardson goes. Here's your throw, and out at second base.
No, let's go, baby. Let's go.
They want to take a look at it, Jose. The review is in play here too.
No replay. No replay allowed. What's called is called. He's out.
Jose, break this down to us. You'll see the replay. Break it down for us right here.
Good jump at first base. Oh, even good throw, man. That's just a baseball play right there.
The previous play is under review.
Ooh, he's out, right?
Yeah, the replay I think is going to confirm that he's out. But this is great. It gives us a chance.
Good pitch, good exchange, and a good throw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jose.
Great exchange.
Yeah, how important is it for your pitcher to give you a chance? And we're watching Hall right now. We're getting word he's 1.2, to home plate. So he's giving you a chance to throw somebody out.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's huge, especially in professional baseball where you have the pickoff rule and all that. Like, the key to the running game is going to come off the pitcher. If he gives you a good chance to throw the guy out, that means a lot. But that looks like an athletic play from Godman there, because good exchange. He had a good jump at first base. I thought he made a really good throw.
Yeah, he looked really athletic also, throwing a little bit almost 3/4. Had to be, because Richardson is fast. 24 out of 27 going into this stolen base attempt, and he did everything right. Went to the outside.
Yeah.
Hold on,
that's
Jose.
a great play.
Let's see what they say on the review.
The call of out at second base is confirmed.
There we go.
That's what you love to hear.
Great play.
So
that's a great play.
I was getting into the culture there. What did you learn about yourself? And for kids that are watching that may someday want to play college baseball, what's needed by a guy that goes to college to fit in?
Man, for me, so my coaches, my high school coach's son actually went to Oral Roberts. That's how I ended up there. Right. That's how I got recommended this place. And I wanted to be away from home. I didn't want to really be somewhere in Texas, and I had people that understood.
Right.
They understood the program. They understood, like, hey, they're professional baseball players, that have come out of here, and the coaches do an unreal job. So for me, I wanted to be away from home. I wanted to be where, if something were to happen, I had to deal with it for myself. I wanted to grow up there, and for me, I was able to do that by being away from home. And I think that's one of the biggest things is, like, when you're going to be a college baseball player, like, don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to be away from home, because you're going to meet people. You're going to be able to handle certain situations.
And you did it great, Jose.
That way,
by the way,
by yourself.
Inning over, buddy. Enjoy your game tonight, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Go
Thank you,
Eagles.
Jose.
Good luck, Jose.
All right.
All right, first pitch is a ball high as we start the top of the third inning. Oral Roberts back at the plate, and another big thank you to Jose Trevino joining us on a game day to talk about his Golden Eagles. In there for a strike. Interesting offensive approach by this team. Brothers is the 9-hole hitter, but they look at him as a number 1 hitter. So they have in their minds 2 number 1s. Guy can move around the bases, 22 stolen bags, and then they turn it over to the top, and that one's in the hole. Tough play coming up. Long throw, scoop, no. It gets by. Great job backing up Carson Bowen, because the speed of Brothers was going to be a factor, and it was.
Okay, this is not knowing the speed of the runner when you're fielding this ball. You want to do this backhand. Instead, he tried to get in front of it. He did, and then he had to throw off his back foot, and just did not have enough arm strength on that one to be able to get it. By doing that, the speed of Brothers pressures him, and he gets on first, and now you have 22 out of 23 stolen bases to lead off the inning.
A chance for action right now for Oral Roberts, with the leadoff hitter McMurray up. Immediately a throw over. McMurray making contact. 4 hits in game 3 of the Super Regional against Oregon. 7 for 14. Hit .500 in the Supers. Hasn't gone deep since May 6th. That's a good pitch. First error of the NCAA tournament, and that's in there for a strike, Danny.
Yeah, so Jake McMurray, guys, this is the true blue I bleed, I breathe, I sleep, I eat ORU baseball. And it's really interesting. We asked him about his recruiting process, and he said, listen, this was the school that came out and wanted me. Coach Fulmer came out, and he said, do you know how many times I watched you in high school? Jake goes, no. And he goes, 35 times.
35 times, double play turn. Boy, have they benefited. Second double play. Turned by the TCU defense after the error, Klecker.
Yeah, and it began with Klecker, too. First, an outstanding pitch, but watch how he receives this ball, turns his body, and makes sure he gets running. I mean, it's a perfect feed to the shortstop, Silva. Watch this. Catches it high hopper, points his shoulders. Look at that feed. Just perfect right to the chest. And, boy, Silva, for a freshman, a big arm across the diamond to finish this off this double play. Well done.
Those are two freshmen right there, freshman to freshman. Not playing like it.
Now Justin Quinn. That also has to make Silva feel really good after the error. He's part of erasing the runner. Well, to Danny's point, you guys both know this. If you remember back to your recruiting process. I mean, this is true of any process that involves recruiting, basketball, football. If one group is paying particular attention to you, it resonates with the player, doesn't it?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to feel wanted, right? Everybody wants to be wanted, and the teams that recruit you the hardest and come and see you all the time, if you're a multi-sport guy, they may come see you play football on a Friday night just to stay in touch with you along the way, and it matters to you, you know, when you feel wanted at any program.
Personalize, humanize. These two programs talk a lot about that. Wake Forest later. Boy, the one word you hear in talking with all the players, vulnerability, letting yourself be authentic around your teammates. This ball rifled towards the gap. The dive, no good. Austin Davis, and we'll see if his left wrist is okay. An awkward landing for Davis in right. Give Quinn a double. And with 2 outs, he's in scoring position.
Now, Austin didn't get a good jump on it. Looks like he didn't get a good read. Actually took a jab step with his left foot before going to his right. And that half step, we talk about his jumps, and it's all metrically inclined now at the major league level and also at the collegiate level. And that jump is what cost him that play. Beautiful effort, though.
So Quinn's 10th double of the season, and here comes the hit streak, 47 games. Cox, swing and a miss. Justin Quinn just 30 games behind this guy. He's now at 17 as far as his hit streak goes. Cox grounded into a double play his first time up. A little late there at 90. Boy, then changing eye levels, changing speed too, huh?
Klecker's doing it all right now for a freshman. You know, he's up in his zone when he wants to be. He slows the bat down enough, and we've noticed some good fastballs on the inside part of the plate. So he's speeding up the bats and slowing them down with the breaking ball and the changeup.
Ahead 0-2. Yeah, he's gone. Wow, what an awkward swing from Jonah Cox. A .420 batting average. 0 for 2 today, and just a heck of a job by Klecker.
Well, you can't do it much better than that. Breaking ball, fastball, and another fastball right to the top of the zone.
What did Jose mean to this program?
Well, he did a lot for our program. What a great representative of our program, of our university. A guy that did it the right way and is having huge success, so we're super proud of him.
What are you seeing in your team's approach against Cole Klecker right now?
Yeah, I like what we're doing. We got to stay out of some double plays. 2 double plays in 3 innings. Probably not going to get it done against this kind of team. It's kind of that catch-22 in this ballpark. You want to keep it out of the air with some routine fly ball outs. But he hit too many ground balls, and you see what you got there.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Carl.
Well, coaching is in their blood. His dad was a high school football coach back in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Many people remember the name John Ritchie. Great NFL player, and of course collegiate, high school, won state championships. Coach was trying to tackle John Ritchie in high school in central Pennsylvania, and recounted to me, because I was in Harrisburg working during that time, there were many a night where Ritchie would be tackled by Fulmer, and he would be giggling when he would get off of Fulmer because he knew he had inflicted his will on the would-be tackler. But talk about coaching, he's got a couple of brothers, younger, and one coaches baseball, and others involved with football, and a high school as well. Asked him if there was any other option, but coaching, he didn't get the chance to kind of go down any other path, did he?
No.
This is where we're going.
Kind of runs in the family a little bit.
Yeah.
This is what we know.
This is what we do. That's right.
Oh, it'll be Boyers, then Austin Davis back to the top as we're in the bottom of the third inning, game one of this double elimination men's college World Series. 2 brackets and then a best 2 out of 3 to decide it all in the final series.
Well, I've seen a lot of that from Jacob Hall, back-to-back changeups. And what's really good for him, when he back-to-backs his changeup, the second one is swung and missed 44% of the time. That's a big number because the college average on a changeup about 33% swing and miss.
And the whole good feed, early feed too, and Hall was there. Boy, the pitchers are very good athletes on the field today.
Yeah, I mean, this is a former two-way player, right? He used to play infield too, so he knows. And of course, once you learn, it's kind of like 2 + 2 has always been 4. And once you learn 2 + 2 is 4, every time a ground ball is hit to the right side as a pitcher, you don't look, you start moving that direction. You see, there's no hesitation at all. He's going to pick his line, look at the ball, he knows where the bag is, and that's perfectly done. A good feed, got over there in plenty of time.
And one of the best first basemen in Division I baseball, playing defensively there, Jake McMurray. Nice feed.
Austin Davis. Murray's been so good, there are no errors on his card for the entire season. Davis swinging for the downs here in a tough ballpark to hit it out of, but the wind has kind of shifted a little bit now. Instead of going towards right, it's a little bit more towards left, so a little bit more favorable for the hitters. Davis left the yard 9 times this season, hitting .280. The transfer from West Virginia. Come on. Two balls and a strike. 139 bases this team has stolen, and he's got 22 of those. For the cam worn by Jeff Head today, he's calling the balls and strikes. And this one on the ground is short. Good hop there. Krosky. Good throw. And Davis retired. So for exclusive coverage of today's game from our umpire cam, we invite you to check out UmpCam Cast. UmpCam Cast. That's on ESPN Plus today.
You know where it's at? It's on Jeff Head's head.
A doubleheader?
Wow, that's good. We'll have one of those today here.
I was going to throw one at Ben after his opening comment about April showers bringing May flowers, but I just thought it was going to confuse everybody. But you know what kind of flowers they are in June?
Tell me.
Junipers.
Junipers. I should have known.
And I thought you were going to look at me like, Rabbit, what are you talking about? The Mayflowers have turned into junipers. Yeah.
Guys, we do have Father's Day coming up, so I see that you're working those dad jokes really hard right now. Really hard. Impressive, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's early for everybody, Danny. This is just game one. We're just getting underway. He's got grounded out to second his first time up. Eli Nunez. 5 for his last 30 now, and that one sails high. Saw Godden come out and kind of say, all right, calm down a little bit here, Jacob. Yeah, he missed it, and that is a threat on the bases now with 2 down. Eli Nunez draws the walk.
Yeah, the perfect time, though, again, to test Oral Roberts. You have 2 outs. You have a speedy guy up at first. Always have to press your buttons and press the buttons of the defense, especially TCU. It's been the running game the entire season for them.
Pitcher, catcher, base runner. Nunez 19 stolen bags on the year. First one at Bowen sails high. 1 ball, no strikes, no score. Game 1 of this 2023 College World Series. Wake Forest, Virginia, Tennessee, Stanford, LSU, Florida, the 6 other teams that are here. Nunez not going. And that's right down Broadway.
Well, you can kind of see what TCU likes to do on the bases, right? If you watch their base runners, they're kind of inching towards the next base. They want to get a running start, if you will. And it's my job as a pitcher. I got to make that base runner plant his feet, right? I can't allow him to continue to bounce toward the next base. You kind of see what they do. They get the momentum. If they get a good jump, see, that's a much better job there. He made him plant his feet. And Hall's been really good. We've been getting the times. 1.2 is above average as far as when he starts his motion, when it gets to home plate. That gives every catcher a real opportunity.
He is going. No, he faked it.
That would have been the right pitch, too. An off-speed pitch at that.
Missed 2 balls and a strike.
Well, you're more likely against Hall to get an off-speed pitch. He only throws about 46% fastballs.
You can see how quick he was to the plate there. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is the right count to go. 2-2. Good base running count. Most likely we'll see another off-speed.
Hall's doing another good thing, too. We see the pitch clock ticking down. He's normally getting into a set position around 10 seconds, so he has the ability to hold the ball just a little bit to make sure that base runner is not inching towards second base. So he's set now with 10 seconds to go.
And going. And popped up. A lot of room in foul territory. But not enough room. It did take it.
Conversation that is being had right now by both Breeze and McCroskey. They thought they had it. They continue to tail as the wind continues to blow towards the left field foul pole.
Half hour ago, that would have stayed in foul territory and likely been caught. Talk about the freshman presence on TCU. Nolan is a freshman catcher, so freshman up the middle for the Horned Frogs. Nunez dive back in. Not going, and this ball to center field, and that is Death Valley out there. Cox underneath it. He makes the play. We are 1/3 of the way through.
Yeah, the way I say, well, ain't we living the dream?
By any means of transportation, this is where you want to be this time of the year. June in Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series with Ben McDonald, Eduardo Perez, Danny Wexelman. I'm Carl Ravitch. Game 1 of 2. You get Virginia, Brian O'Connor's Cavaliers. Talk about a well-rounded team that never make mistakes. They'll take on Florida in the night game. First pitch bent in there for a strike. It'll be Matt Hogan, Mac McCroskey, and Holden Breeze for Oral Roberts as we start the 4th inning of a 0-0 game. And they do have 3 men on the right side of the infield. Swing and a miss and a really good changeup.
It's a nasty changeup right there, especially for a freshman to be able to deliver it the way he did, fooling Hogan.
Hogan's an RBI machine, 70. 18 home runs, and that one's in the dirt.
This is a special kid, Klecker. We talked about his age and how young he is, and you know, you should have known he was going to be special because his first appearance in college, right, was in a major league ballpark against a top 10 team in Arkansas, and he comes in relief and he just absolutely deals in front of 20,000 people. And it's been a steady climb for him since then. Began the year in the bullpen, then he went to the Sunday role, then he made his way to the Saturday role, and then finally sat in that Friday role. And that's very unusual for a true freshman, especially at his age, to be able to do what he's done.
Oh, 3-2. Hogan's hitting .332, 12 doubles. Trey Richardson is in shallow right, and the off-speed pitch gets him to roll over foul.
You mentioned Richardson there in shallow right. It's exactly what you're supposed to do against a prolific pull hitter.
There's a rollover and right to the first baseman. Both pitchers pitching real well so far.
Yeah, Klecker's kind of doing what we thought he would do, right? We talked about the high spin fastball, how he really spins it. It's not a lot of velocity to it, but he likes to pitch right up there because that fastball of his, he can really spin it, meaning it stays on plane up better than most fastballs do. It kind of fools the hitter's eyes, and you'll see a lot of swings underneath it. Just like that one, you'll see a lot of swings and a lot of pop-ups. He's got 3 or 4 pop-ups, a lot of swings underneath that fastball. And now, the second time through, we're starting to see a few more of those, a few more breaking balls.
77 miles an hour. There's the line on Klecker as he gets McCroskey, who grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. McCroskey towards the foul line. There may be a play. No, it's about 4 rows deep for Austin Davis. Charles Schwab Field, downtown Omaha, of course, moved down here in 2011, had been at Rosenblatt Stadium, as Omaha has hosted the College World Series since 1950. Format has changed a few times over the years. Now 8 teams, double elimination format. Next one to McCroskey, and that one is another souvenir. Start to look at some of the teams that are here, guys. TCU, of course, with the number of times they've been here. Only Florida's been here more in recent years. But boy, while you look at it and you think, geez, it's not that hard to get here, it's so hard to get here. And yet these 2 teams have done it, TCU and Florida, a bunch. But Wake Forest grateful for their opportunity. Yes. Obviously, Oral Roberts.
Stanford, what, 3rd year in a row?
In a row.
Stanford, that's impressive. 3 in a row. Of course, TCU made it, what, 4 in a row not too many years ago.
Spoils another breaking pitch. You know, and this is just game 1 of the next week and a half, but winning game 1 is so important at the College World Series. And even Charlos acknowledged it. You know, for us, we don't have a ton of pitching depth. You get into the winter side, it's a huge advantage.
There's a couple of teams here that have a lot of, like Tennessee, like Wake Forest. If they were to get into the losers bracket, they probably have enough arms to get through it. But there's also, most of the teams here don't have enough arms, in my opinion, to get all the way through.
Yeah. But it's good to understand who you are, and I think when Kurt Sarlos told us it's important to be in that winner's bracket, for every team it is, but for theirs, it really, he needs to drive that message to the players and to the coaching staff.
Yeah, certainly the strength for TCU is their bullpen. There's no doubt about that. You look at the number of starters versus, you know, relievers for the year, and the strength of TCU has been their bullpen.
Good at bat here by McCroskey. Continues to foul off tough pitches. Started it off 0-2 and continues to just grind.
Here are the numbers in that bullpen. The Frogs coming out of the pen, 18 1/3, an ERA of sub-2 with a whip of 109. 6 of the last 7 have been fouled off, and this is up the middle. Smothered. What a play! It got him! Anthony Silva went down to the ground, popped up, and was able to throw out Mac McCroskey. That's a web gem right there.
You talk about a level of difficulty here from Anthony Silva, especially with Trey Richardson going after the ball itself. This is athleticism. Watch it, enjoy it, gets on the knee, and immediately gets up.
And how about the finish on the backhand, too, by Fontenelle? Watch Fontenelle over at first base. Look how quick up and over to Fontenelle to finish that. And remember, that is a true freshman out at shortstop.
Yeah.
One of the numbers you gave, Ben, right at the top was about their defense and how great they've been. And there's a heck of a play by a freshman, Anthony Silva, at short.
Yeah, this team fielding, what, nearly 990 their last 21 games. That's almost unheard of at the collegiate level.
Oh, he's going to be looking at that play for quite some time.
I think everybody will be.
They used the comp of Troy Tulowitzki because of his size and weight when Troy played. Very similar.
Very frog-like in his ability to get down and just hop up and make that throw.
I see what you're doing.
But it was. I mean, that's not a dad joke, Danny. That was legit.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's good. Coming from other dads.
Ahead 1 and 2, 2 down. Here's the next one to Holden Breeze. So if you haven't followed college baseball, Ben, we had a 156 pitch effort
Yeah.
In Stanford, that's out of the norm, given what we know about the College World Series and the days and how it creeps up on you. Does that factor in any decision making with regards to pitchers and how many they're thrown, or is this just, we got to win this, we're not worried about any of that?
Well, you know, a lot's been made about that one. A lot was made by Paul Skeens throwing 124, you know, the other day for LSU. But for me, if you got 6 or 7 days rest, I'm not so much worried about a higher pitch count this time of year. Right now, what concerns me is if you throw 150 and then 2 days later you're back coming out of the bullpen or starting again, that would concern me. But when you got 6 or 7, but look, we've always said this, and you guys know about Major League Baseball. How many times do we see in Major League Baseball when we get to the playoffs, we see a pitcher come back on short rest, we see a guy come back out of the bullpen? It's that time of the year where you're going to do things a little bit differently than what you have all year long, because this is the playoffs.
There's a tough hop, and it gets by Braden Taylor. Breeze will hit first, go to second, and he is in there with a 2-out double. Second double of the game for Oral Roberts.
Talk about having a top spin on this ball. It's exactly what happened. One hopper, and that hop was not read well by Taylor. Watch this. Gets on top of it right here and just skips up. No chance whatsoever from that angle. Good thing is you have 2 outs.
I think it's almost like he thought that ball was hit harder than it was, because he went into his dive a little bit sooner.
But that's where the top spin comes into play.
Because it did bring it down, but it almost looked like that ball was off the end of the bat, but maybe when it came off the bat, he didn't think so.
Well, Drew Stahl, first pitch, pops it up. Here comes Fontenelle. Got it. Outstanding defense by Anthony Silva. And we will talk with that man, Kirk Saarloos, about what it means to be back here, about the significance of today in his life. That's coming up. College World Series, bottom 4, 0-0.
TCU baseball is supposed to be in decline. 2 years ago, they lost their head coach. This year, they finished 4th in the Big 12, but then they won the Big 12 tournament. Then they beat number 3 Arkansas. Then they upset number 14 Indiana State. Now they are back in Omaha. Decline, you say? Fear the frog, they say.
Let's go to Omaha! Well, that was the premise, that this is supposed to be kind of a rebuilding couple of years. Not the case. TCU right back here. Kirk Saarloos, of course, is the coach. What do you make of the premise there? Like, well, wait a minute. Schlossnagle leaves, Saarloos in. We're going to go down for a few years.
Well, nobody over here thought that. I don't know who was talking about that.
We'll talk with Marty. We'll talk with McGee. We'll get Marty Smith on him.
There you go. Got to make a story, don't you?
You have a lot of stories, and we'll get to them here as we watch Braden Taylor step in. And that first one, what a play is right. Jake McMurray.
Wow.
Hasn't made an error all year, and he joins the Web Gem collection early in Omaha.
Well, it's really interesting, Ben, because the first thing we asked their coaching staff was, tell us something about your first baseman, Jake McMurray. And they're like, there's not a better defender at first than that man right there. He's shown it to his right earlier. He just showed it to his left. Beautifully done. Great jump at first base.
It has been a glove show for both of these teams, playing defense at a very high level. Of course, that's what it takes to get to where they are this time of the year.
How would you describe the game so far, Kirk?
Well, it's kind of old school baseball. You got 2 guys that are, they touch 90 maybe. But when fastballs are in order, they throw changeups, they throw breaking balls. Phenomenal defense. You got a northeast or a southeast wind blowing in. So it's definitely favors the pitchers, and both guys are doing a good job of mixing pitches and moving it around. And let's see if that one goes out. Probably not.
It is smashed by Fontenelle at the wall.
I guess so.
It does! Cole Fontenelle leaves the yard. His 14th of the year and the biggest one he's hit yet. 1-0 Frogs at the World Series.
Sorry, you can cheer.
Hey, that's pretty fun. Nice job, Cole. Way to go.
He'll never get off the headset now.
Never. What are you guys doing next half inning? I didn't know if that had enough juice with the southeast wind, but Cole's a strong man.
This ball was hit. I mean, it was hit.
Well, if you want to interview him down there, feel free to do so.
Cole. Hey, Cole. Yeah, we'll talk to Cole.
Ask him if he thought the same thing when that ball was hovering up in the sky. Now Richardson squares and he pulls back. Before Cole shows up, you told us a great story this morning about the significance of the day. Tell us about the significance of the day in your life.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's my brother's, I don't know, he's 47 or something like that, birthday. But my wife and I decided 21 years ago to steal his birthday away from him. And so it's our 21st wedding anniversary, my wife and I, so it's pretty awesome. Cole, what'd you think about that swing?
I was just trying to get a pitch I can handle, saw pitch up, and not trying to do too much.
Did you think it was going out?
I wasn't sure the wind's going in, but I knew I got a good barrel on it.
Attaboy, nice job.
It's that simple. It's just that simple.
That's simple. So we got good pitches.
Did you see Cole's head like, all right, how do I answer this? I was just I wanted to just make a good swing at it.
Yeah. Well, that's what usually good hitters do. They swing at good pitches and put good swings on it, and Braden did that the at bat before. Cole did that. You know, this guy's crafty. You got to be disciplined. You know, when you're not disciplined, he will chew you up, and Cole did a good job of getting a pitch to hit.
2 rockets. Here is the swing, and we'll let Eduardo up here break it down. 2 rockets this inning.
Yeah, changeup just stayed right middle. Stayed up in the zone, floated in there, and that's exactly what he was supposed to do with it. Patiently enough, waiting for it, and showed some pop against that breeze.
It didn't even get to the first row in the right field seats. It landed between the first row and the fence. So quickly, so 21 years ago you get married, but the great part was you were literally in the middle of a Double-A season.
Yeah, I thought, you know, thinking I was going to get married in the middle of June as a baseball player is probably not very smart, but I told the Astros I was going to get married Double-A All-Star break. I just so happened to make the Double-A All-Star game. I declined, obviously, and went to Sammamish, Washington, where actually Cole Fontenelle is from.
That's right.
And we got, my wife and I got married, and next thing you know, the Astros called me on my way to Seattle and said, hey, can you be in Milwaukee on Tuesday? I thought somebody was playing a joke on me. And
your wife.
Yeah, and the whole wedding party decided, hey, we'll jump on a plane too, we'll follow you. So my big league debut was 2 days later in Milwaukee. So not many people spend a honeymoon in Milwaukee, but my wife and I did.
Wait a second. At what hotel did you stay in Milwaukee?
The Pfister, and everybody knows the Pfister is haunted.
Yeah.
So, but we went to Bora Bora after the season was over, so we had a good honeymoon, but the first one was in Milwaukee. We'll never forget that.
Great story, and good for the Astros to be on board with showering more good news on you after you get married to bring you up to the big leagues, and you never left.
That's right. Jerry Hunsiger and Tim Papura, right. 2 guys from the Astros back in the day, and you know what a special couple days that was for myself and my family, and pretty special to share our anniversary on my brother's birthday. So
congratulations. Curtis Byrne looking at the 2-2, the designated hitter. He talked about taking one for the team. He was the catcher to start the season, and this ball is hit pretty well to left center. But this ballpark will hold it.
Well, I got to go call pitches. I'll see you guys next afternoon.
Did a great job. Thanks, Kirk, very much. Thank you very much.
All right, see you guys.
Home run the difference right now. TCU 1, Oral Roberts nothing, and DW.
Yeah, Klecker back out on the mound. When we talked to him earlier this week, he said that Globe Life game, that was the table setter for my whole season. He said, I came into that game, it was the second inning, a crowd of 20,000 people, and that was the game that really catapulted my season for me. I've got this one pitch at a time mentality. It helps me slow down the game. And then when we talked to Carson Bowen, his battery mate earlier in the week, he said the same exact thing. He said, I'm so proud of him the way that he slowed the game down as a freshman. And you got to be really impressed, guys, that these batteries out here are freshmen starting in the College World Series.
That's right. Freshman pitcher, freshman catcher, freshman shortstop. And that series at Globe Life at Arlington, that must have kicked the Rangers season off too really well, given how they've played in the American League West. Center field going back now, Nunez, and now he's under it, and he's there to make the play. So 1 up, 1 down. Jacob Godman flies out.
Yeah, I love the way Kurt Serlos brought Klecker along, though, right? He thought from the beginning he'd be a dude for him, right? He thought he would, but it was baby steps, right? It was out of the bullpen first, then I'm gonna put you in a Sunday role, which is not that much high pressure. Then y'all eventually put you in a Saturday role and then into the Friday night role. So he kind of brought him along baby steps, if you will. And you see that a lot in the college game with true freshmen. You see coaches that kind of bring them along in paces, and they let them get their confidence and they bring them to the next level. And all of a sudden, this kid barely turned 18 years old now, is competing at the highest level in pitching game 1 at the College World Series.
And to your point, too, the team sometimes dictates how quickly we can move somebody, where they're going to play, where they're going to hit in the order. TCU was still figuring it out late. I mean, there was a come to Kirk kind of moment that the team had, and the last third of the season they've just taken off. But it wasn't going well. You know, their ups and downs and how they dealt with it was terrific. But it led to some difficult moments. Another one sky high. And this one won't even get to the outfield. Richardson under it, and there's a couple of pop-ups here in the 5th. All right, so the bracket 1, TCU or Roberts, Florida, Virginia a little later tonight. And then you try to win your bracket before you get into the College World Series final. Wake Forest and Stanford. Wake has been the best, most all-around team. Stanford feels like the third trip in 3 years gives them a huge advantage. And there are times where both LSU and Tennessee look like they could beat anybody any day. Outstanding bracket. They will get underway. Bracket 2 tomorrow.
Okay, so this is where right now Cole Klecker, I think, has to show me something even more. Why? Because it's the third time around the lineup. He changed it up from the first time he saw the lineup to the second time. Bullpen just about to get up right now, and Kurt Sarlos understands and knows if his player has enough to get through the top order of this lineup.
I love what he's done, though, right? He established his heater early, his heater up, and he got through the first part of the first time through the lineup, mainly with his fastball, working it to the upper part of the zone. And then if you notice the second time through, it's been more curveballs, right? Now I'm starting to show you that curveball out of that same window, and he's starting to work the changeup in. So it's been perfect, and that's the idea for a starting pitcher. I don't want to show you everything I got if I don't have to. Now, I may get myself in a jam second and third, and I got to go. I got to show you everything I got. I got to empty the tank. But it's been kind of cruise control for him, where he's been kind of going at his own pace. Fastballs early, now breaking ball behind that, starting to throw you some changeups as well. So he's mixing very well.
Yep, and here's a ground ball. Silva, easy play there. He gets McMurray. Quinn was on deck. He's got 2 of the team's 4 hits. He and Breeze got all 4 of the team's hits. Everyone else now 0 for 14. 1 ball over the wall. That's the difference in this game so far. The home run from Fontenelle. 1-0. Big Bob Carey pedestrian bridge, the Bob Carey Ped Bridge. Ben out for a run this morning. Do you go over the bridge when you run?
I didn't. I did not go over the bridge today.
Have you done that?
I have not. But
really?
Now that you showed me kind of where it's at, I may go that direction. I'm just going to avoid the signs if I can.
You haven't seen it out there all these years?
That's a long way, though, to jog from where we're staying.
How far do you jog?
I mean, it was like 15 minutes today, so whatever I had to rest after hitting the sign for a moment, but other than that, I don't know. It's
15 minutes, those legs, that gate, I mean, that's probably 4 miles with
time out. He hit a sign.
What?
He just said he hit a sign.
I didn't mean to say that. I hope nobody was listening.
That's a good pitch. 1-2. What do you mean you hit a sign? What does that mean?
I was just kind of, jogging along, minding my own business, had my ear pods just in another world. And I saw the sign up there, but I thought I was going to clear it. And somehow I didn't clear it. So I was like into the sign and scraped up my arm when I did it, hit my shoulder. And the first thing I did was jumped around and say, oh, my gosh, I hope nobody I hope nobody saw that. And so thank gosh it was early. Nobody saw it. So I just went on about my business down the road. I was like, that's embarrassing, and I didn't really want to tell the story.
What kind of sign? Like a stop sign? What kind of sign?
I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm not going that route tomorrow. I feel like it jumped out in front of me. I really did.
Up on you.
I felt like it just moved.
I've heard of sleepwalking. Do you sleep run?
Well, apparently I do, but I didn't after I hit that, I promise you.
We're looking for it.
Is that why the yellow tape is up?
There's a sign around there somewhere on the backside that's got a dent in it, I promise you.
We're going to go out and look for that sign.
3-2 to Silva. On the ground, charging it, short hopping it, and making the play. Holding Breeze. He attacked it once it hit that dirt, Eddie, but it hit the ground quick.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. If he stays back on it, there's no way he's going to be able to make the play. On Silva. Beautifully done, comes up, gets it. That's why they call it do or die.
Yep. I mean, what's the rule of thumb as an infielder, right? You see the ball bounce above your head. What's your normal thing? You got to come get it, right?
My rule of thumb is ball hits dirt.
You got to
charge. Doesn't matter if you play third, short, second, or first.
And on top of this is a slow track too. We walked around the infield. It's a thick grass. It's a higher grass on the infield as well. And so this is a little bit slower track that I would say most of the participants here at the College World Series are used to fielding ground balls on.
100%. And a lot of these teams, Oral Roberts, for example, their ballpark is all turf on the infield, grass in the outfield. A lot of these teams have gone to the synthetic turf.
I mean, we watched all the teams work out yesterday, right? There was a lot of ground balls hit for that reason, because it is a little bit slower than a normal track.
You know, Ben, a lot of people have looked at this field and described it as having on paper one of the best fields and potentially one of the best College World Series we've seen in years.
Agreed.
For people that don't know who's here and why they would say that, is this one is ripped, and that's going to go into the corner in right field. Making that turn at first and hitting to second, and he is in there with a double. Luke Boyers.
Boyers thought too right at the moment of contact. Gets it, understands what he has to do with one out. It's to get to second base. Pitch up in the zone, keeps it fair, off to the races. Another changeup, this time up.
Yeah, all of a sudden that changeup for Jacob Hall starting to get up in the zone. And when that changeup gets up in the zone, it gets very, very flat.
Well, let's just put this in perspective. Boyers is 154. 51% of the time swing and miss off the changeup. When it's up like that, there's no swing and miss.
Inside to Austin Davis. Bottom of the fifth, TCU's got a 1-0 lead. With one down, the 9-hitter Davis, who does have power. Got Boyers out there at second base. Misses away. A little action right now in the Oral Roberts bullpen. Caleb Isaacs is up and throwing. And with the count 2-0 and a runner at second, Isaacs joined by Dalton Patton. So we'll get back to that, Ben.
Yeah.
Why is on paper this maybe one of the best College World Series we've seen?
Well, if you like some really cool stuff and some teams that have performed very, very well, I mean, you look at it, if you like ERAs, right? I mean, Wake Forest is 1, Tennessee is 2, Virginia 4, Oral Roberts 7th. That's rankings in the entire country. If you like the long ball, we got that for you too, because LSU, Florida, Wake, Tennessee, and Stanford all in the top 10 in the country in home runs. So we got that for you too. You like teams that can high batting average. There's Virginia, Oral Roberts, Stanford, and LSU all in the top 12. And so you got a little bit of everything. We talked about the defense, of course, by Oral Roberts. They're in runs per game, big time. We got 5 in the top 10 here in runs per game.
So
it's a little bit of everything. We got some high-powered offenses. We got some teams that can pitch it a little bit. We got the long ball if you like that. So and look, this field arguably is, when you talk about first-round draft picks this year, this is one of the most talented and maybe the most first-round draft picks we've ever seen in the College World Series in a very long time.
And a common denominator to what we heard in the meetings, where if you're going to give up the home run, give up solo shots.
Yeah.
Don't walk guys.
Well, this is a ballpark, right, where you want to challenge guys. You have to challenge guys in the ballpark like this.
Austin Davis grounds out, second out. And all 3 Golden Spikes finalists, 2 of them with LSU and Skeens.
I mean, how rare is that to have the top 3 here, you know?
Caglione's coming back for another year. He's only a sophomore. So 31, I mean, what's the over-under on homers? Do they pitch to Caglione next year? You're going to go higher than 31, aren't you? You think?
That's going to be interesting to see, you know. And what's cool, too, is we very well could have the top 3 draft picks in the July draft coming up. They're here as well. Wyatt Langford, Paul Skeens, and, of course, Dylan Cruz at LSU. So we got some big-time star power here.
Right. Strike 1 to Eli Nunez. Yeah, so did you finish your thought on what your rule of thumb was? Ben said a ball that goes over the infielder's head. Did you say what yours was, which is hit the dirt, right?
Ball hits dirt. For me, and then Perry Hill was one of the ones that always preaches that, and he's always told his infielders. And it's an easy adjustment for the infielder. Ball hits dirt before it hits that grass, you charge. Ball hits grass, you stay back, and you're able to, and it'll bounce right where you need it to 95% of the time.
Just missed.
See, that's perfect. I mean, you see where the catcher Godwin is set up. 0-2 count. You're trying to throw a ball that stays in the strike zone as long as it can, and then it goes off the outside. So it's strike to ball, and that was well executed by Jacob Hall.
Got a little Raleigh finger stash working here at Hall. 1-2 to Nunez, and he fouls it off.
How about that? Change up away, heater in. I love the center field view because when a pitcher's on his game, sometimes you can collect outs and be scattered in a little bit, right? But when you see it from the center field view and you see where the catcher sets up and then you see how close the ball comes to hitting the glove, that's when you know a pitcher's really on his game. I like this view right here because you're going to see where Godwin sets up and then we're going to see how close the ball will come. Getting wide might be in something off speed. It was. And that's another tip for you, too. When you see a catcher at the last second get very, very wide with his legs like that at the last second, he's doing that because he's getting ready to block the ball.
Ready to block.
And you're taught as a catcher, you don't want to set up early on that because the guy out at second base right now may be able to tip off what pitch is coming. So you'll see Godwin, if the breaking ball is coming, he's going to hop at the last second, get those legs really wide so he's ready to block the ball in the dirt. He'll stay narrow as he can until the last moment.
Great pitch on the corner and a punch out. So that meeting on the mound worked out. We are back in Omaha, Nebraska. The 2023 Men's College World Series underway. So how impressive has Cole Klecker been on the mound? In fact, both pitchers have been great. But Klecker today, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs. If you see 5 scoreless innings pitched in the history of TCU at the College World Series, previous 21 games, nobody had done this. They've run some pitchers out there now, Ben, and nobody's put on a performance like Klecker has today.
It's impressive, and I love the way he's going about it. It's been tactical. Of course, the pitch calling's been outstanding, but pitch calling is one thing. To be able to go out and execute it is a totally different thing. There's Kurt Serloge. Of course, Serloge calls all the pitches, but the execution has been great, and it's been a transformation from heavy on the fastball early to really starting to land more breaking balls and throwing more breaking balls the second and third time through.
And this is a big inning. You're getting Quinn, who's got 2 hits against you for the 3rd time, and he fouls that off, and Klecker's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is with Klecker is that he's actually this season gotten better when he sees the lineup a 3rd time. 3rd time around, the hitters are hitting 226 compared to 237 second time around, 171 first time around.
This ball to left. Boyer's going back, looking. It's off the wall, and it gets away from him. Quinn is going to put the brakes on at second. Justin Quinn is 3 for 3 with a single and 2 doubles.
This kid is putting on a show. First at bat, it was a base hit. Line drive the opposite field. The second time up, it was a double. And this time up again, pitch up in the zone. The wind taking it all the way to the wall. He stays on second, and it looks like that might be it for Klecker. But a beautiful approach, not trying to do too much, trusting his ability of being able to find barrel to ball. Ends up at second with no outs, tying run at second base.
So Quinn's got 3 hits. Holden Breeze has got 2. Nobody else has got a hit for Oral Roberts. Klecker's getting some pats on the shoulder, and we are going to see a pitching change coming into the game. For TCU is going to be Ben Abel, another freshman, a left-hander. And he will try to keep Jonah Cox from extending his hit streak to 48 games. Cox 0 for 2, but coming up in a huge spot in Omaha when we come back. Cole Klecker is out after giving up the 3rd hit of the game to Justin Quinn. Single, double, double. So he is on the hook for the man at second. And here comes another freshman with a very unique delivery, and that has been Abel, and he has appeared in more games than any other reliever. This will be his 30th. He's made 1 start, but it's that arm slot that gets everybody's attention.
You know, and look, from that arm slot, he generates a very good fastball velocity-wise. I mean, the fastball is going to be anywhere from 91 up to 95 miles an hour, and it's heavy on the fastball. 85% fastballs, about 12% breaking ball, about 3% changeup. And by far, his fastball is his best pitch. Opponent's hitting 236 off of it, and 53 of his 61 strikeouts on that fastball.
All right, I'm defense here. I have to play, especially Cole Fontenelle at first base. Play in a little bit more. 3rd baseman's already in. But it's a hitter that, yes, he does have the hit streak, but he does get on via the bunt as well. Very good bunter.
Here's Jonah Cox. He does score and he fouls it off.
And I know in this situation, runner at second base, you would rather bunt it to third. But where Trey Richardson is at second base and where Cole Fontenelle is at first, push bunt it. You have a left-handed pitcher that falls off towards the third base side. You can easily get yourself a hit and move the runner over.
Well, Fontenelle at first never crashed, and typically with a runner on second, nobody out, your first baseman's crashing a good bit, but Fontenelle staying back.
That was scary. A player inside that dugout had to jump out of the way.
It was typical on a runner on second, right? Bunt play number 2, first baseman crashes, pitcher's responsible for the third base line, and lets it gets by him, then the third baseman has to vacate and take the out over at first base. But Fontenelle back on the first 2 pitches.
You can see him trying to go the other way on that 0-1 and now 0-2. And he's trying so hard. He is trying to go to
guys,
right field.
Guys, seriously, and I get it. He's got a 47-game hit streak. A lot of things that he does do at the plate probably don't look pretty, but they work. Close your eyes and imagine that Hunter Pence is on at the plate right now, because it's that funky, but it has results.
Yeah, and he's choked up way on that bat big time. He's just trying to punch a ball to the right side. That's his job if he can get it done.
Oh, just missed.
This is a tough at bat for anybody off A-belt, right? Because it's crossfire. Going to be really tough on left-handers, but where he starts and then where he steps, he crossfires it, and he's really bringing it hard from the second base side into the batter.
Cox has that 47-game hit streak, and he is 0 for 3 today. Second strikeout. It's a rough day for Cox. He grounded into a double play, and now 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, big time rough on Cox. If you look at the hitter's perspective here,
look where he lands. So you see where he's landing? I mean, Eddie, he's landing 1.5 feet across his body. So it's big time. Look. And then the arm slide creates a totally different angle that you don't see very often. And while it's heavy on the fastball, it was the slider with the big strikeout there.
Cleanup hitters Matt Hogan, 70 runs batted in, and a big one sitting out there at second base. Gets away from the catcher, and now to third base with only 1 out.
That's huge.
Goes Justin Quinn. It is huge.
That's really big. And now TCU is wondering, are they going to bring the infield in, or are they going to keep him back? They decided now to bring it in. Trey Richardson's not as far in as the rest of the infielders. He's going to play a little bit more halfway instead of all the way in. Nope, now they're moving back.
Yeah, everybody just shifted back. Even with the bag at third base is Taylor. What a spot for Matt Hogan.
Good luck.
I'm straight up with you right here. I'd actually bring the infield in.
Yep.
You have a lefty that's coming from that angle. If Hogan is going to make contact on the ground, it will be pull side, as he's a prolific pull side hitter. But I don't think it's going to be that hard of contact.
It's not going to be a barrel is what you're saying, so why not bring him in and take that chance?
Bring him in.
Oh. That last pitch that got by was ruled a pass ball. Not a wild pitch as it hit Bowen's glove and got away. That got Quinn to third. In a 1-0 Texas Christian game here in the 6th. Oral Roberts has the tying run 90 feet away.
Boyer's playing a little too deep and left as well.
This one's popped up on the infield. Silva right there, no tag.
Well, this is big time.
Huge out.
This is big time for A-belt.
Where are we? Where are we right now? This is College World Series. We have 2 freshmen going at it in a major way. First, it was Cole Klecker, and now beautifully executed by a young freshman here.
Boy, how about that? After a couple good fastballs, just a breaking ball, and he's talking about the way it came and swept. And you know, we're in the sweeper phase now, where we're seeing a lot of sweeping breaking balls. Not a lot of depth in them, but more horizontal, if you will. But that arm angle he's got is what creates a lot of that.
But I think what messed him up was more the fastball, as he was saying how much run it has also. And it doesn't have that much of a vertical drop from that angle.
93 miles an hour on that fastball to McCroskey. Ooh. sailed high and away, and a good job by Bowen. Get to the College World Series, you're going to need some two-out magic. And now that you're here, they're hoping to continue it on a 1-1. That's a tough pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You faced him. You see a little Randy Johnson in there?
He's a lot more cross than Randy was, though. Angle, yes. Across his body.
And long, too, right?
Ben Abel trying to get through the heart of the order, and a foul ball.
I see a lot more Chris Sale in him.
And if he can throw that same slider that he threw to Cox, you feel like the Horned Frogs get off the field. Because he sped that bat up enough with the fastball.
Has to be careful he doesn't try to overthrow a slider in the dirt.
He may be here a while. He's giving you short and long innings in relief. Way inside, and another terrific job by Bowen behind the plate.
Well, that's the key to that, right? If I'm going to go to the slider for a punch out, I know I might probably have to bounce it to get it. And I got to be able to trust that guy behind home plate to keep the ball in front with that tying run just 90 feet away.
Holden Breeze would be next up. He also has 2 hits. Breeze 2 hits, Quinn 3. No one else has a hit for Oral Roberts. McCroskey right field, fairly deep. Davis going back. It's over the wall. A huge home run for Mac McCroskey. His 14th of the year. Abel couldn't get through it. It's 2-1 Golden Eagles.
I was looking at you saying, does he go with the 3-2 slider? Instead went with the fastball. McCroskey was just protecting. And he hits this one to right. Ball stays up. Again with a big home run. This is something he's done all season long. He's been able to stay calm in a big moment here in Omaha.
Right.
Turns the wind around.
You could tell his approach was perfect, right? He was a little bit late on the fastball before that, but he's protecting against the slider. He gets another fastball, and a little bit late on that, but enough to keep it fair. Big time at bat.
Mac McCroskey picks up 2 RBI, his 63rd and 4th on the year. And his 14th bomb has now given the Golden Eagles their first lead of the day.
Yeah, that's a hug well deserved. Way to pick me up right there.
Say that's a couple of pick-me-ups right there.
That's the pitch right there that will get a swing and miss on the 3-2.
In 3-2, right? You just want to start it in the zone, right? Have it be a strike out of the hand.
And if you walk him, so be it.
Way inside. So how about McCroskey, who is the Summit League defensive player of the year, delivering with his offense in this one. Redshirt senior out of Springdale, Arkansas. And that will do it, but not before McCroskey goes big Macland and gives them the lead.
And double Max when it comes to RBI right here. 3-2 pitch up and away. It's exactly what you're supposed to do with it. Comes in with 13 home runs, gets his first College World Series, add 1 to it. That's 14 right there, and a big one. The biggest one of his collegiate career to put up 2 runs in the top of the 6th. Oral Roberts 2, TCU coming up the bat.
Record number of home runs hit this season in college baseball, and already 2 today. We'll be at 28 the last couple of years. So we're off and running in game 1. And these would not be considered the 2 biggest power hitting teams in the field. Is there an answer now for TCU down for the first time? 2, 3, and 4 due up here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, one thing we did learn from both teams in the Super Regionals is how much grit they have in the regionals and Super Regionals. To see what TCU did in Arkansas, then going home against Indiana State.
Fair ball. And Bowen will round, and he will get into second with a double just down the line. And Andy Cooper, our third base umpire, said fair ball.
Well, this is how you answer right back, right? You give up a 2-run homer, you lose the lead, up 1-0, 2-run homer, you're down 1. Bowen steps in the box and just rifles this one, and he did such a good job getting those hands in tight to the body, gets the barrel to it, and sticks it right down the third base line, pulls up a little bit of chalk, and a good start for TCU here in the top of the 6th.
Common denominator, Carl and Ben, third time around the lineup, it's real, and it's at the collegiate level.
Justin Quinn, a double. That was followed by the homer a few batters later. It's TCU about to repeat it. Bowen leads off with a double. Taylor on deck.
The day is complete for Jacob Hall, and an outstanding day it was for him. Some backdoor fastballs early, slowed the bat down with the changeup, so it's fastball, changeup heavy. Good fastball in right there, and a changeup away. That's a good sequence. Fastball in, speed up, changeup away. But then the ball started to get elevated a little bit. Changeups left up, and when those changeups were left up in the zone, TCU did not miss them. That's 3 in a row. Changeups kind of left on the heart of the plate a little bit up. So 5+, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 punch-outs. 96 pitches. Of course, he's responsible for the runner out at second base.
This is Caleb Isaacs. He is the lefty that's on in relief. And Taylor swings at the first one and fouls it off. Braden Taylor's been the X factor for this team and the face of TCU. Outstanding seasons in 21 and 22, and the single season home run record. Here in his third, he's got 23 and 69 RBIs. Stays away there.
He wanted to chase on that one, did not get it from Taylor.
Well, that's the pitch for Isaacs. Fastball will throw about 48% of the time, but opponents hitting 356 off that pitch, only hitting 196 off the slider.
There is a slider, hit it hard, run on the ground. Brothers up with it at second base, and that's the first out. But down to third base goes the tying run, and Bowen.
That's the way you do it, right? Lead off double, find a way to get that run to third base with less than 2 out. Well done by Taylor. Now we're going to see how Oral Roberts wants to play this. They bring the infield in. Do they concede the tying run?
Cole Fontenelle already has a home run. He showed his opposite field power by going over the wall.
Yeah, showed his pop from the left side. Now he's from the right side, and this one was a changeup, and he struggled mightily this year off the changeup. Not that time when it stayed up. 35-degree launch angle, distance of 375, exit velocity well over 100, and it needed to be well over 100 with the wind the way it's blowing. Infield midway here for Oral Roberts. If it's hit as hard as the last ball, they're going home with it.
So Fontenelle now moves to the right side. Just missed a close pitch. Now it's called a strike. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, and these are the situations, if you're on offense, when you don't need a base hit to score a run, just a regular routine fly ball works to tie the game. You got to be good in these situations.
That one is seeing eyes, and it gets into the outfield, and Fontenelle delivers his second big hit. An RBI ties it. Bowen hits home. It's 2-2.
What do prolific RBI guys do when there are runners in scoring position? I lived my entire life with one, and it's like, don't try to pull the ball. Hit the ball middle the other way. That's exactly what he did right here. pitch is up and in, stays back on it, and hits it the other way, good enough to get through. And if it wouldn't have been good enough to get through, he would have still driven in that run. Beautifully done.
Not afraid to get jammed, right? Not afraid to let the ball travel and shoot it the other way. And that's kind of what happened right there. He's jammed a little bit, but just kind of pushes it to the right side.
How about Fontenot? 7 now straight games that he has got multiple hits in. He had a homer in both games of the Super, so he's homered in 3 straight games, and now that big single and an RBI.
Should we get Coach Sarluz to be able to interview Fontenot again?
Dalton Patton is going to be the next pitcher of a brand new ball game, and he's going to face another tough hitter here for TCU, Trey Richardson. There was the answer, though. Bowen led off with a double, and Fontenot brings him in with a single and an RBI.
Yeah, so we talked to Fontenot earlier this week, and, you know, we're talking a long time, and then the end of the conversation comes, and he says, oh, yeah, by the way, my grandpa Wayne, he grew up on a reservation, and he called me a few days ago, and he told me that our family comes from the Omaha tribe. Guys, I'm not even making that up. His family comes from that tribe, and so his grandpa said, you know, this could be a homecoming for you. This could be important for you here in Omaha.
Wow, that is interesting. Omaha. Wonder what was his reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, he was stunned when he was telling us the story. He couldn't believe that that was the truth, and that his grandpa Wayne was telling him that at this moment.
Well, he's certainly making this feel like home. Take a look at our bracket right now. 7 o'clock Eastern time. Florida, Virginia, 6 o'clock local time. Get a chance to see Caglione. Watford, they have as much pitching depth as there is. And Virginia's a team, it seems like, coming into this, that scares a lot of people because they've just been consistently good. Brian O'Connor's got a whole bunch of experience here. And, of course, he is featured on the statue outside of Charles Schwab Field.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia would scare me, scare a lot of teams. I mean, when you're 4th in the country in earned run average, you're 8th in runs scored, and you can play defense too. Pretty good team.
Dalton Patton is a sophomore, 5'10", Red Oak, Oklahoma.
Yeah, fastball's 88 to 92. Opponent's only hitting 162 off that fastball, so it's got something to it. Slider's only hitting 200. He's had an outstanding year. Throw about 65% fastballs, about 26% breaking balls. He'll mix in an occasional changeup about 10% of the time. To give you an idea, his whiff rate on his fastball, 27%. College average about 18%. His whiff rate on his changeup, 41%. College average about 33%. Throws his slider more than a changeup, but when he does throw that changeup, it is a good one, primarily to the left-handers.
Richardson had that massive game against Arkansas. 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. And he swings at the first one and sends it sky high. Who's going to call it? The center fielder comes in, and Jonah Cox catches it about 15 feet off of the infield dirt.
Guys, that's really good communication there. One way or another, Blaze Brothers was under that, but as soon as Jonah Cox makes the call, you clear, and that's exactly what Brothers did.
That's what brothers do.
Yep.
Blaze Brothers. Might be the best name in, or one of the best names
right there.
In the College World Series.
Came up with the all-name team. And Blaze Brothers is right there. Early lead in the clubhouse.
I like it.
Byrne popped out twice. And they got it picked off. He was drifting, and did he avoid the tag? Safe. McMurray says, well, you got to go to the replay. Somehow, Fontenot, at least according to the first base umpire, Angel Campos, avoided a tag.
Yeah, I got to see this one now. Watch him just kind of creep, throw his mate over there. All right, looks like he
right there, he got him on the foot.
But he kept going after him. He got him again.
There, yeah. And he got him there. He might have got him 3 times. Third time might be the charm on this one.
For paintball, he is just covered.
There, one. Just in case.
2.
No, 2 right there.
Okay, yep. And no, I think that was 3. 1. You got him, definitely got him right there.
Is challenging to play at first base.
2.
The previous play is under review.
Well, that's what we've been seeing from TCU, right? They like to get that step. They get that momentum going that way. And, boy, Patton was ready for it. A quick pickoff move at first. And then the circus began.
Yeah, find out. He's like a fly. You know, you can kind of injure them, but you can never really get them, Ben, when they're buzzing around your house. You feel like you got them, and you really missed him, but you did touch him.
He got him.
You winged him.
And then right there, you hear the fans.
Like, wait, what?
They winged him. He's out.
Twice.
How many times do we got to do it?
Everybody's coming in.
For more information on the 2023 NCAA College World Series, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. They're lined up like in the starting gate at the Derby because they will not let the defenders cross the line until the review is complete. And everybody has seen on the big board here, he was seemingly tagged twice.
Even Fontenelle's already on the other end, ready to go.
Does the catcher Godman, does he have to get back in fair ground, or can he stand?
Ben, do not.
What happens if you cross the line?
They'll holler at you.
After review, the call at first base will be overturned to out. Oral Roberts will retain their challengers. They still have 2.
Fontenelle drifted in no man's land, and McMurray got the ball and tagged him once.
There.
3, you know what it is?
Right, I got 3 times.
3 tags and you're out. That's how it works here.
Lionel Richie.
Oh, that is a huge superstition. It started as kind of like a punishment because we were having a little bit of a lull there in the middle of the season.
You know, it's gritty, so we love them. We started wearing them against Texas State a couple months ago and been playing well ever since then, so why change anything?
Yeah, they're not clean. They smell, but there's a reason behind wearing the batting practice jerseys.
Earlier in the year, as you heard, they were smoked by West Virginia. That's what Kirk Silos told us. And then they got run-ruled the next day on Sunday. Their charter was delayed. It was raining. They got home at 2 a.m. and the staff decided that a change needed to be made. And so they brought out the BP jerseys, put them on everyone's lockers.
Carry on. We believe this is a routine fly ball.
Just making sure. And so the point being was Kirk Silos said, I want you guys to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We need to make a change here. And I want you to sit in your sweat and sit in your stink. And so then when they came out earlier in the next week, they played DBU. And Silos said, you're not going to go back inside. You're going to sit and watch them and see what they do. Carson Bowen then in that game hit a grand slam. And now all they want to do is wear these jerseys, these BP jerseys. He said, we have 7 sets of jerseys. And this is what they want to wear, and it's a bit of a microcosm of life, right? He hopes that these guys will take this lesson and use it out in the world.
Are they washing them?
No. Well,
yes.
After the game. After the game.
Tanny, yes.
Yeah. After the game.
But when you have to sit there, it's like a baby. I mean, you got to sit in that for a bit. The other point that Sarlos was making to his team was like all those other things, like the 7 uniforms we have and the materialistic things that we're exposed to, they mean nothing. It means nothing if we're not playing well and united and unified. And it seemed to work.
Well, these players have so much when it comes to the facilities. And I'm talking not only TCU, LSU's facility is unbelievable. Arkansas, who's not here right now, but all the teams.
Wake Forest,
they have so much. And sometimes you just want to keep it real in between the lines.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the more you invest in it,
it's good for recruiting.
Yeah,
Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, big screen TVs, big lockers, big locker rooms, and all that kind of. That's cool for recruiting, but it doesn't win ball games, right? You want the kids that drink out of a water hose. Those are the ones, the gritty kids, you know, to just grab the water hose, drink out of the water hose. I mean, you give me a team full of those kind of kids, and you win ball games.
Ben, curiosity here. When was the last time you drank out of a water hose?
when I was home the other day. I was out in the yard, more in the yard. It was hot and didn't want to go inside, and the water hose is right there. So just turn it on, let it run for a while, let a little bit of the iron get out of there until it cools off a little bit, the rust, and then you just drink it.
I mean, I think we all did that.
We did, but when was the last time you did it, Carl?
But I haven't found myself out there like Ben sweating, you know, with the acreage that he has, that he needs that. First 43 games, they didn't go well, and then they stunk, and then they've won 19 of 21. What happens if the Grand Slam never gets hit, though? Do you think the tradition continues? I mean, the Grand Slam really solidified the batting practice jerseys. Blaze Brothers bounced that off. Carson Bowen to the screen. Top of the 7th inning of a 2-2 ball game. Oral Roberts 2 runs, 6th inning homer, 1 run each for TCU in the 4th and the 6th. They had an answer after ORU had gone ahead. It's the bottom of the order, the number 9 hitter. Gets a piece of the inside corner. 0-2. McCroskey's homer was his first opposite field homer of the year. Change to the flatter seam baseball changed everything here at Charles Schwab Field. The ball just does fly a little further.
Yeah, I mean, you go back, not too many years ago, there were, 3 home runs hit here in the entire College World Series. And back-to-back years, there was 3 home runs hit. I think we've been averaging right about 24 homers a year, you know, over the last 6 years here.
They had him leaning, but Abel didn't get it over there in time.
But balls have really been flying this year in college baseball. And you mentioned earlier, on pace to set the all-time record. And that's going back when they had dropped 5 bats in. That's when it really wasn't fair at all.
This one's hit well. Brothers, Nunez, center field, and you can see the wind kind of killed that one.
That is big out there. That's the big part of the yard.
Batting practice for the Yankees is still a little over an hour away, Jose, so I know you're sitting somewhere in that clubhouse right now watching your team in a 2-2 tie in the top of the 7th.
.327 average for Jake McMurray. And he is the literal guy that just gets this whole team going. He takes one there. .327 average is 6 homers, and all the numbers are one thing, but talk to Coach Fulmer about this guy. You would do anything for him, he would do anything for you.
And the other players feed off of him. He sets the example for everybody. Coach Fulmer said just a ball player. I define him, McMurray, as just a ball player, right? Not extremely fast, not going to run the ball out of the yard a whole lot. 2 stolen bases on the year. But hitting .327, he's going to battle you. He's going to extend it bats. He's going to find a way.
And this is the issue that he has in hand is with Justin Quinn on deck, already 3 for 3 in this game. Lefties actually fare better against Abel than righties this season.
Bottom of the zone, he gets the call, and now we're full 3-2. That was a borderline pitch.
I'd hold him first. Make sure he doesn't get a good jump. Keep the outfield deep. Make sure he doesn't score on any extra base hit.
Chopper to second, high hop, wow. Richardson had to go up and make that play. Some elevation from Trey Richardson. That gets into right field, and we're looking at first and third, but Richardson read it, jumped, and it stayed in his glove and in the infield.
Well, this is for Danny right here. Chopper, ball elevates, he levitates like Dua Lipa.
Of course, the Oregon Oral Roberts series was incredible as well. After having an 8-0 lead in the first game, Oregon rallied, beat them on a walk-off, and Oral Roberts came back and took the next 2 to punch their ticket to Omaha. This is a very good start to this College World Series 2-2 game, bottom 7. Curtis Burns, Silva, Boyers due up. On the ground to third, tough play underneath the glove of Holden Breeze, leadoff man aboard for the Horned Frogs.
This is where the infield gets a little more difficult because it starts drying out with the heat, the sun hitting it. It's quicker right now than it was at the beginning of the game. He crosses through to his left. The great third baseman, you talk about Matt Chapman, Nolan Arenado, they take a step back. They give themselves an opportunity and they go diagonally back to give themselves a longer opportunity for that hop. Right there, it just eats them up once again.
So Silva.
Oh.
Twice grounded out, once to short, once to the first baseman who flipped to the pitcher. And he's got a hit in his last 5 NCAA tournament games. So in a sense, all of his NCAA tournament games as a freshman.
Oh no!
2 balls, no strikes.
A lot of ride on that heater. Big time vertical approach on it.
Dalton Patton delivers. That's in there for a strike.
Trying to punt. It didn't look like he was very committed to that, did it? On a 2-1 count.
Didn't, but that was a good pitch to bunt. Now serve and protect.
Curtis Burns on first, and he is diving back in. Just drops one into right at the line. Hustling over. He may have a play at first. They do. What a throw. Matt Hogan went over to the line, and Byrne was too far off the bag, and he threw a strike. Double play.
Then we ask their coaching staff again, what makes them so special? They all love the grind, they all love the play, and they all know how to win. And this is winning baseball right here. There's no hesitation whatsoever from Hogan and right. 360, the beautiful stretch by McMurray at first.
This #1 defense in the entire country is showing up in a large way for Oral Roberts right now. How about that stretch, huh?
Jake McMurray has made some outstanding plays at first base today, and that's another one. So leadoff man erased on a double play. That is a strike. Luke Boyers.
Circle that play. The reason I say that, when you have Cade Denton still in the bullpen, ready to come in, maybe in the 8th inning, that's a plus for Oral Roberts. One of the best relievers in the game, in the collegiate game.
There they are. Widener from the left side, Denton from the right side.
Great pitch, change up inside corner, and a great fight back after the leadoff single. This game has had everything from great defense to balls going over the wall, and now a rare 9-3 double play.
How about that? Matt Hogan do it. Catches it, spins 360. How about the finish by McMurray on the back end? There is Luke Savage in for TCU. Junior out of Plano, Texas, 6'1", 200-pounder, making his 17th appearance of the year. 23 punch-outs, 13 walks, a very good ERA of 2.50. Fastball's the pitch for him. Opponent's only hitting 165 off that fastball, and it will tick up into the mid-90s.
Not an easy guy to start with, Justin Quinn. He is 3 for 3 today. He has scored a run, a single and 2 doubles. Quinn is a .400 hitter against lefties. Against righters, I should say. 338 against lefties. Oh, see that breaking ball just didn't get a piece of that plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 8th inning of a 2-2 ball game. Winning that game 1 is so critical, and he went with the heater, and this one was about face to center. It'll hold up there for Eli Nunez. Well, we are tied, so you don't know how long it goes, but this may be the final chance for Jonah Cox to extend his 47-game hit streak to 48. I mentioned that in 3 of his last 4 games, he's extended it by just getting the 1 hit in a game. Dallas Baptist, March 12th, the only time he didn't get a hit. So a big spot for Jonah Cox and Oral Roberts as a team to get some runners. Swings at the first one. This one is playable. In right field, Davis drifting, and that's it. That may end Cox's streak. We'll see. But he is 0 for 4.
Goes after that first pitch up and not able to get the bat head out in front.
Yeah, it was a pretty good pitch to handle, just a little bit tardy on it.
Matt Hogan next up. We went sidearm, a little David Cohn Laredo there from Luke Savage. He's got plus velocity, plus spin. Oh. Went off speed, and he did. Fooled him there, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And don't be fooled by the 91-92 when you see the fastball. It's the perceived velocity because of that plus spin.
Savage works quick, and that's it. He wasn't waiting for anybody. Whew. Hogan is gone. 9 pitches.
Boy, Luke Savage, huh? Dial it up, young man. He can punch you out, and boy, 92 right at the bottom of the zone. Watch him just rip this 4-seamer right to the bottom of the zone. That gets the Horned Frogs off the field. We got a good one, folks. 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Welcome back, everyone. The road to Omaha has led 8 teams here. That trophy is what they are playing for, and a chance to get their names into the record books as a World Series champion. It's been very heavy SEC the last couple of years. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Here with Ben McDonald, Eduardo Perez, Danny Wexelman, Carl Ravitch. Just 1 of 2 today. Virginia, Florida coming up later, and we are in the bottom of the 8th of a great one. It's tied 2-2. It'll be Austin Davis first up. Swings at the first one. This is playable in left for Justin Quinn, who comes in a few steps and is there. 1 pitch, 1 out. .28 homers each of the last 2 College World Series. LSU has been hearkening back to the Gorilla Ball days of Skip Bertman, the bomb squad. They've hit 148 in 1998. This team 133 homers, which is 3rd in LSU's program's history. Wake Forest has 8 of 9 hitters hitting over 300. A couple of the other teams still to play. Eli Nunez. Strike 1. Over the head of the second baseman, Blaze Brothers. That is a single for Eli Nunez, and he and his 19 stolen bases are aboard. Eduardo, Sunday Night Baseball presented by
Casamigos.
You know it. Casamigos Tequila. Yankees, Red Sox will wrap up the 3-game set at Fenway. We'll start at 6 Eastern time. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown.
Mi casa,
su casa.
Su casa.
CC. Charles Schwab Field, the casa for baseball fans. The next week and a half, young and old. And let's keep an eye on Eli Nunez now. He is an absolute threat to go in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the 8th, 1 down. Carson Bowen doubled and scored his last time up. It doesn't matter, Ben, you're the great pitcher, what level you're at. When there's a base runner on, it changes everything, doesn't it?
It does, and the pitch clock changes everything too, right? And that's the key to this. And for me as a pitcher in today's world,
This
is what we've seen from TCU the whole game, right? We see what they do and why they have so many stolen bases. They like to get that momentum and creep. So the idea for me, if I'm pitching against TCU and how I'm going to neutralize this running game, is I'm going to come set on the shot clock to about 10 seconds where I can hold the ball. But see, that's what they like to do. They like to inch to the next base, and you got to find a way as a pitcher to stop that. How do you do that with the clock? Well, you come set with about 10 seconds and you hold the ball for a good 5 or 6 seconds until you stop that momentum. That's the way you can slow down this running game.
That one right there was a hit and run. And you can tell as soon as the pitch was delivered, he was looking in to see where the baseball was. TCU trying to make offense happen by making the defense move.
Well, Kirk Sarlos told us that everybody has the green light. Like 1 through 9 has the green light.
Not going, and that's inside.
As a ball player, this was my favorite part of the game. I don't know if you know this, Ben, but I used to be able to run a little bit before gravity sort of betrayed me.
I understand.
And having the throw over, getting dirty, getting loose, you know that all eyes are on you. And it affects that right there. The ability to throw strikes, the ability to locate, especially now with your 3-hole hitter up.
Now the whole game changes no matter the level. And to Eduardo's point, Braden Taylor is coming up, the third baseman. He will approach the plate with 1 out. And that will bring perhaps a pitching change for Dalton Patton. Everybody's eyes on what is going to happen on the mound. There is the signal. We will have a pitching change.
Going to bring in the righty, bring in his man. Great move.
Oral Roberts is going with the guy that they rely on more than anybody. Cade Denton, as good as there is in the country, to slow down this run. Well, here we go, everybody. We are back at the 2023 NCAA Men's College World Series. And the biggest spot in this game. Cade Denton is on. He is the stopper of the year, 1.85 ERA. He assumes 2 base runners, and he's got to deal with Braden Taylor, the best hitter on TCU's team. Nunez at second with good speed. First pitch gets away. And they both move up into scoring position, and a big turn from Nunez before he retreats to third.
How's that heartbeat right now, Ben?
Well, you got to figure out a way to slow it down. He just overcooks this slider, and he's got 3+ pitches now. Cade Denton's fastball, it will tick up to 96, 97. It averages 94.
First base is open, and now they pick their poison here because they'll walk Taylor to load him up for Cole Fontenelle, who's got a homer and a single. And in the bottom of the 8th, this is the ball game.
Yeah, and this is Fontenelle, who against right-handed pitching is hitting .331 on the season, and he's had a ball game for himself already this afternoon.
So 1 out, bases loaded, 2-2 the score. Game 1 of the College World Series, and there is a strike on the outside corner beginning ahead for the 6'3" Cade Denton.
Well, what's odd is Denton batters are hitting 247 with runners on and 283 against him with runners in scoring position.
Oh, just missed on the inside. 1 ball, 1 strike at 95 miles an hour.
And that's odd because he's only allowed opponent's batting average of 210 overall, but 283 runners in scoring position.
Surprised you, McMurray at first base is playing actually behind the runner, and actually I have him playing in.
2-1. Denton looking for a strikeout or trying to roll a double play and get out of it. What a block. Yeah, 3-1, and it sure was. But now, a dangerous count to a dangerous hitter with the bases loaded and nowhere to put him. Play, big pitch, and he's fouled it off. One with a fastball.
Yeah, 95 too.
Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch reaches out to third. Foul ball. Boy, a delayed call there, but a foul ball for sure as he got it in foul territory.
Would have been ball 4 as well. Sometimes too close to protect. You're in swing mode on this one. Checking down the line, one of 34 cameras we have in play. You can tell that one right there, foul.
MVP of the Super Regional. Fontenelle trying to get his name into the MVP race at the World Series. Already a homer and a single. Another one at 96. Good spoiled by the cleanup hitter.
I love this approach by Fontenelle, right? Going to hit it the other way if it's a fastball, but he's got enough bat left just in case something off speed comes.
Wind blowing in from center field. Crowd here at Charles Schwab, many of them on their feet. And he walks in the go-ahead run. Cole Fontenelle with a big at bat. That's 3-2 TCU.
Has driven in all 3 runs for TCU this afternoon. Big at bat, fouling off tough, close pitches, then laying off that 3-2 pitch down.
That's a great at bat by Fontenelle. And in this inning, a walk, an intentional walk, and a walk. All preceded by a Nunez single. He scores 3-2, still loaded. Trey Richardson. Oh, no, did he go? Did not go, says the first base umpire, Angel Campos. 1-0. Richardson had a massive regional, and again, that 3-homer, 11 RBI game against Arkansas. 5 for 6 overall.
Yeah, heads up for anything here.
Way inside. Denton has really struggled here. With the exception of the foul balls, and Eddie made the point. That was ball 4 that Fontenelle spoiled. And that's going to bring a quick conversation for Denton.
Yeah, and this is unusual for Denton, right? Only 11 walks coming in 58 to 30. 78 punch outs. So typically the command, the control is really good for Denton, but not so far today.
Look around though. We're in Omaha. Everything's different. Come in with inherited runners at first and second. Runners in scoring position this season, hitting what, 283 against them?
And they've only hit 210 the whole year on them. You know, normally your big time arms, you see it all the time. in the biggest moments, they find a way to elevate the game, right? Typically, the opponent's batting average goes down in the big moments, not up.
Exactly. Well, what a spot for Trey Richardson, who is a Baylor transfer. Big impact in the San Conference's TCU, and now can make a huge impact here in Omaha. Ahead 2-0 with Bowen, Taylor, and Fontenelle on. Oh, and he hit him. Denton's control has been off. Another one will come in. Richardson gets plunked. It's 4-2 TCU. And who would have thought this would happen?
A walk, a hit by pitch. Then take me through this one.
I mean, that's 2 walks in a row and now a hit by pitch. And you can see, I mean, what I'm seeing from Denton, it's common for most pitchers, right? You see the left shoulder. When the left shoulder flies quickly and he gets what I call east to west and he pulls quick here, you're always going to leave that ball arm side up and in. So what he's got to do to fix it is drive his chin, his front side in the glove and keep it in the glove a snap longer. But when you start getting east and west, that's where that ball ends up, his arm side.
Curtis Byrne, left field. Quinn went back, now comes in. Here comes the runner from third. He will be in safely. Braden Taylor, and going down to third base is Fontenelle. 5-2 in favor of the Horned Frogs. Curtis Byrne got it deep enough. Quinn did what he could by charging and throwing, but no chance to get Taylor. 3 runs in the inning.
Good piece of hitting right there off the off-speed pitch. Knowing that he doesn't have much control with that fastball. He's able to drive it in the air. Get an extra run. 3rd one of the inning.
3 runs on 1 hit for TCU in this inning. 1 hit.
They got Davis to fly out to left, and then it was Eli Nunez single that started this wheel spinning. Anthony Silva. Slow roll to short with a charity hop, and the low throw, he is scooped out of the dirt by McMurray. What a strange inning, though. You bring in the stopper of the year. He had 15 saves, but he came in with 2 men on. An intentional walk, a hit batter, a sac fly. 3 runs, that's the difference right now. Going to the 9th, TCU up 5-2. Just a rare show of a lack of command from Cade Denton, who came in with a sub-2 ERA and 15 saves, a whip under 1, and they scored 3 runs on just 1 hit, a sac fly, 3 walks. Hit batter, and boy, Luke Savage takes the mound and has to feel a lot better about the situation now than if it were tied or 1 or 2. He's got a 3-run lead. McCroskey fouls that off. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's big to be on the bump late to know that 1 pitch doesn't mean the game, right? I got room for error now. You be even more aggressive in the strike zone.
Whoa, okay, just off.
Got to give a lot of credit to TCU pitching because they've held Cox and Hogan to an 0 for 8. When was the last time we heard that from those 2?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't because of the 47-game hit streak. That throw is way off the line, and McCroskey is going to go down to second, and he will stay there. Good job by Trey Richardson to come in and just make sure Fontenelle wasn't going to throw it. Waving his arms, didn't want to see anything go into the outfield. But leadoff man aboard here, McCroskey, will give a single and then an error on the throw to Taylor, which allowed McCroskey to get to second.
Trying to do so much right here. He backhands it. Nice job. He rushed it to be able to throw it. Ball just sailed on him.
Well, they'll get 1 more aboard. You bring a tying run to the plate. This is Holden Breeze. And this one is into shallow center field, and they will do that. Krosky is held up, and just like that, Oral Roberts starts to knock on the door. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Tying run will come to the plate.
Boy, no quit in this team. The Golden Eagles 51 wins on the season, only 12 losses.
Garrett Wright is out in that bullpen. 5 saves on the season, number 21. Junior at 6'2", 220 out of College Station, Texas, but he's going to stay out there and let Savage continue to pitch.
Well, Savage has been their best lately. You go back the last part of the season, especially in regional play, he has been really, really good.
Savage, Cam Brown has been very good. We've seen Abelt already. And then Wright, really the 4 options out of that TCU pen. So a couple of deep breaths now for Luke Savage as Drew Stahl bats, down 3 with nobody out. Breaking pitch in there, 0-1. Stahl, the Minnesota transfer, had a good super. He went 4 for 10, 0 for 2 today with a walk. Well, if the super taught him anything, it's the resilience. After the Oregon loss in game 1, Oral Roberts had an 8-0 lead and lost 9-8. Then they bounced and won the next 2. Here's one into the gap in left center field, and it's going to get down. That allows McCroskey to come in. First and second, nobody out. 5-3 as Stahl delivers.
Pretty at bats. That's what they've done. They're not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark right now. They're just putting the ball in play, a little contact. Not a lot of high exit velocity against Savage. That's what he's been known for the entire time. And now you have the time run at first. A slider, little scissor cut with the back leg.
Oh, I love that, huh? Just goes down and just sticks his nose right on it and serves it out in left center field.
Sam Thompson, the pinch runner. 5-3 ball game. Jacob Godman, 5 homers this year. Ball, ball, ball! Foul ball.
Playing for the tie. Right now, you're playing for the tie on the road. They know how important it is. That one hurt.
Godman squares, crashing from first. Fontenelle. Boy, that's a strike right there. Just missed it.
You know, fundamentally, he's done everything right. He moved up in the plate. The only thing that he did not do was that Savage froze him in that position. Too much time in that butt position, and you always see a little bit of hesitation from the hitter. 3 sack bunts on the season.
Big pitch from Savage here. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout. Godman is gone.
Well, that was just kind of about my best against yours right there. And Savage just grabs a 4-seam fastball and rides it right to the top of the zone. You talk about a huge punch out, the biggest one of the game so far. Right up top.
Blaze Brothers, the 9-hitter. Just foul. Ooh, was that close?
Oh, man.
That would have changed the game a little bit. By just that much.
Well, that breaking ball by Savage right now, not fooling many of the Golden Eagles. It's just kind of rolling in there.
Well, Brothers is not your typical 9-hole hitter. He's got some real power. 18 doubles, 11 homers. And this one is hammered to left field. Did he do it? Yes, sir! Walk-off home run. The 9-hitter Blaze Brothers. And Oral Roberts Roberts rallies and wins it. TCU, I should say, in a walk-off. Top half, that's right, not bottom. 3-run shot, though, puts them on top after it felt like they were down and out. 6-5. Blaze Brothers. Wow. How about Oral Roberts?
A lot of people that are stunned right now here at Charles Schwab. What an at-bat. Talking about the 9-hole hitter, and we've said it all along, he's not the typical 9-hole hitter. Blaze Brothers, what a name, what an at-bat.
Luke Savage is in shock out there, and so is Kirk Saarloos.
You talk about
down 5-2.
You talk about getting it done at the bottom of your lineup, right? I mean, it started way before Brothers, right? He just had an opportunity, and boy, he came up huge. But Mikowski singles, Breeze singles, Stahl singles, Godwin punches out, and then the big blast, the 3-run home run.
Oral Roberts, that super regional experience. This one is smoked. Not deep enough. McMurray gave it a shot. Let's take a look at Blaze Brothers, his 12th home run of the season, and getting a lot of love.
Yeah, what I liked about this was breaking ball before that. That one, a fastball right to the middle part of the plate, and he just puts a barrel on it. His 12th pump of the year, 41st RBI, and that's a big ball. And a big ball in a huge moment for the Golden Eagles.
Never say die attitude from the predominantly senior lineup. We're looking at 6 seniors in this lineup, and not. How about this at-bat right here? How important is this at-bat to be able to try to get Jonah Cox back up at the plate?
Yeah, there is a chance, and let's see. Bare hand. Safe! Oh, my. Jonah Cox may get another chance to extend this hit streak. Well, Kirk Saarloos is going to have somebody else facing. How about Matt McCroskey, a single, then the error allowed him to go to second. Holding Breeze, Drew Stahl, and Blaze Brothers with the homer.
This is what their super regional is pretty much like in Eugene, Oregon.
So they lead at 6-5. They've seen it before. You could tell there was no quit in them. What a comeback. Blaze Brothers, the 9-hitter, absolutely smoked this thing at Charles Schwab Field over the wall in left field to rescue Oral Roberts. So far, they've got 4 runs in the top of the 9th.
And you even said it right before the pitch, the ability that he has to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's home run number 12. When you have power in the bottom of the order, you're trying to hide a hitter. They're hiding him in the 9th spot. Blaze Brothers. Wow, what a shot.
Well, we talked about the bullpens of both of these teams, and they faltered a little bit here today. 4 runs in the top of the 9th, and now another pitcher for Kirk Saarloos. It'll be the righty, Garrett Wright. 25 innings pitched this season. Out of College Station, Texas. There are the numbers in those innings. An ERA of 3.25.
Yeah, and another big arm, too. Fastball will average 95, slider and a changeup as well.
Well, let's see if Jonah Cox can extend a 47-game hit streak. Whole mindset change for him. He had to think that that was his last chance in the 8th, but he's back up in the 9th. Swings at the first one, and that one's going to get to the seats and right. Been very aggressive early in the count, swinging at the first pitch.
The entire time we've heard that this is not only his hit streak, but the team has celebrated it like it's theirs. And they've given him this opportunity here in the top of the 9th to extend it.
.96-mile-an-hour pitch from Garrett Wright. You know, you look back on this, I'm sure Kirk will, if it ends this way. There were a couple of trips, a couple of thoughts about Savage on the mound. prior to the homer, the balls weren't really hit very hard. 0-2 to Cox. And one hopper, and that will end the hit streak unless the game gets tied and we keep going. He hit it hard, but I don't think the hit streak, as he said, is on his mind at all. Trying to win the first game in Omaha is. 8-9-1 coming up. Horned Frogs down a run. Do they have a comeback in them? Significance of winning game 1, and as you see, bottom game 2 as well. Only 4 teams in the past 41 Men's College World Series lose game 1 and then go on to win the title. And 27 of the last 32, all but 5 have started 2-0. That's the situation as we begin the bottom of the 9th inning. And in spite of what happened in the last inning, Cade Denton is back on the mound. I love this. Stopper of the year, 15 saves, leads the country. Clean inning.
Yeah, and look, if he's been your guy all year long, there's no reason why he's not your guy right now.
Amen. I'm with you.
Short leash. It'll be Boyers, Davis, and Eli Nunez. They need runners, and they need 1 run to tie.
And what you had said, clean inning, is huge. 283 with runners in scoring position. This right here, he does not have to worry about being quick to the plate at all.
That's filthy right there. 95 to an 83-mile-an-hour slider, and he's ahead 0-2.
Average slider, 2,600 spin rate.
Oh. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a different body language on the mound right now.
It's not very often you get a second chance, right? Not in games like this. He's getting a second chance right now.
Boyers 2 home runs, Davis 9, and then Nunez not a huge power threat with just 3. That's down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him. 95 with some sink.
And a little grunt to go with it, huh?
I feel like I was at Roland Garros right there, watching the French Open. A lot of grunt.
I mean, this is high octane. And watch the sink to it, too. Just kind of bottoms it out at 95. No chance at all.
Here's Austin Davis. Like one. A totally different pitcher right now on the mound for Oral Roberts. Oh. 1-1. Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cade Denton showed up on campus. He was throwing 84 miles an hour, hit 90 miles an hour as a freshman, and has taken off since then. A little high. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And a lot more growth in that body, too. It can be had.
That one's going to get down in left field, and Austin Davis does his job. Wide turn, but now the tying run is at first base. How about the 9-hole hitters in this game?
Late in the game. Davis, what an at-bat. Gets the 3-2, battles right there.
And Davis, 22 stolen bases on the year. Does he take a chance?
At 29 a year ago.
We got 44% caught stealing rate behind the plate from Jacob Godman.
Because Denton's a tall guy. It takes him a little bit of time to unwind and get that ball to home plate.
None of the pitches before Davis got to the plate this inning have sailed on him. Let's see if he rushes his delivery here. Arm side.
Right, where's his front shoulder?
This game has featured a number of pass balls which have allowed runners to get into scoring position. No, he did not leave first. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Two and one. Davis, a transfer from West Virginia at first base. He's the tying run. TCU team that stole 139, most in school history, 6th in the country. Not going. Gets the call. Shocking to Eli Nunez.
How about some confidence there, right? 2-1 count. Got to throw a strike. Doesn't throw the fastball, just bends a slider right to the inside part.
I got to trust Nunez here, and I send him. Create a little havoc defensively. You have to trust in the speed and the contact of Nunez at the plate.
Very small lead. He is going, and it's fouled off.
Davis taking his time, getting back to first base.
He's back now. Denton looks at him, and the 3-2 fouled off. He was not going.
Interesting he wasn't sent on that 3-2. I know it's a tough double play guy to get, and Eli Nunez who's hitting. But to get 3 consecutive hits off Denton is going to be tough.
He is going, and another one that is spoiled. He will slowly saunter back to first again.
Put the timer on him right here. He's going to walk his way back there.
You can hear home plate umpire Jeff. That's saying you got to go. Let's go. Not going here, and another one fouled off to the seats. Almost like he recharges the battery, you get a foul ball, and he goes again.
Got to get a bigger lead. I know and I understand that they have been having that moving lead at first, but that was just way too close to the bag without a secondary.
Yeah. And Cade Denton kind of quick pitched him in some ways. He came set really quick and let it go.
4 straight foul balls. He is going. Oh no! Ball 4, they'll check third. There was no swing. Ball 4, and in spite of Davis hitting the deck at second base and the throw down, irrelevant. Runner in scoring position, the tying run. Denton a walk. Now the question becomes, do you leave Denton in and just ride him the rest of the way?
He's going to take him out, it seems like.
Yeah. You know, overall, the command has just not been the Denton that we've seen all year long.
With runners on base.
Yeah. It's different for him at runners on. You can see that he tries to be a little bit faster to the plate, and the arm just doesn't catch up. And he gets a little bit east to west.
He's got a little convincing to do here. He is yet to make the call to the pen.
Jacob Widener is the pitcher that's out there.
This has been your horse the entire season.
And as a coach, I might want to go out and just look him in the eye. I want to see what he looks like. I want to see what the body language is like, and I want to talk to him.
And they're going to leave Cade Denton in. How about Carson Bowen The freshman, the catcher, has got a single, a double, a walk. He has scored 2 runs. Davis is the tying run at second base. Can TCU complete their own comeback?
You know what Denton has to do is forget about the runners. They want to steal third and second and third, then so be it. Just go after the hitter with your stuff.
Career high in walks, 3 today. That's in there for a strike. Took something off of it. What a game. Big home run from Blaze Brothers in the top half. They scored 4 to come back, lead it by 1. But TCU is knocking. Braden Taylor has been their guy with 69 runs batted in. He's on deck. Very good infield behind him. Can turn a double play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He got jammed and it's popped up and there's no play. Godman got some help on that, but he couldn't get to it.
Yeah, looked like another slider. Yeah, he just kind of hangs on the inside part and just trying to keep the ball in play. And I'm waiting for Denton to throw one of those mid-90 fastballs up in the zone. Everything's down right now where you can get to it a little bit. I want to see one just above the belt at 95.
Davis, terrific speed at second base. Here it comes. And another one on a play. The slider.
Seems the pitch that he has control with to throw over the plate is that slider. The issue is both times that he's done so, they've hung.
And it's been a great pitch for him. I mean, it's a swing and miss at 48% of the time. College average about 33% swing and miss on that slider.
Bowen is a very good 2-strike hitter. A 327 average on 2 strikes. The rest of college baseball 180 in that situation. Runners don't go, and here we go again, right back up here.
Got to keep an eye on Davis now a little bit.
Say, you can't afford it.
Starting to get a bigger lead.
I agree with you. Focus at the plate, but I can't afford to let that guy get to third base.
Change your looks. Just change your looks. See how he looks at him once?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Show him something different. Because you're right, Davis starting to really move the feet out at second base.
Nunez had his puppies working too, right behind him at first. 1-2 on the way.
Oof. Oh, Papa.
Be careful down there.
He keeps throwing that slider, and it's on the inner part of the plate. Now, if you have to throw it, you have to trust Godman behind the plate here to be able to block. You've already trust his arm in a major way.
Strike the ball. I mean, you're looking for something to go strike the ball. I still like the elevated fastball.
Chased it, he got him, and boy, a slider that would have hit a left-handed hitter. He got Bowen to chase.
But you have to do that.
And that was finally the good one, right? That's the one that explodes. We haven't seen this pitch from him. I mean, this thing exploded right to left.
And he abandoned the fastball. He went slider the entire time. Beautifully done right here. See how far Godman was away, like forcing him. I want you to waste the pitch out here.
There was no intention to throw that first strike, and that's well done because the first 30 feet, it felt like it was in the zone, and it exploded right to left.
Great matchup right here. Denton against Braden Taylor, the number 3 hitter who was intentionally walked his last time up. Fastball 96 at the knees, 0-1. Monster numbers for Taylor. 31 pitches for Denton so far this inning.
Davis now is way back with 2 outs. He's not going to go anywhere from where he's at. Forget about the runner right now. Focus on Taylor.
Nope. 2 balls and a strike to Braden Taylor.
And just like we highlighted Taylor, they circled Taylor's name in their pitchers meeting. Don't let them beat you. But right now, you got your best on the mound against their best.
Austin Davis is the tying run at second base. 2 balls and a strike to Taylor. And this one is into left field. Will it stay up? Yes, it will. What a comeback. Oral Roberts hangs on and wins. They will strand 2. Denton gets it done. And they are dancing and flipping here in Omaha. 6-5 the final.
This is who Oral Roberts has been the entire season. We saw it in the regionals. We definitely saw it in the super regionals in Eugene. Never say die attitude. In that top of the 9th, 4 runs. A big home run by Brothers. Wow. Oral Roberts continuing to play their veteran game.
Yeah, Oral Roberts, 6 runs, 5 of which came by the home run, right? A 2-run shot by McCroskey, and then Blaze Brothers, a 3-run shot. So 5 of their 6 come with runners by the home run. I tell you what, Oral Roberts, 4 for 10 runners in scoring position. TCU, 1 for 7.
One of the key stats as we take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance, the number 9 hole hitter, Blaze Brothers. 2 men aboard and absolutely annihilates one to left field. A 9-hole hitter that's got 12 home runs and now 41 RBI on the season.
I was told they don't know how to lose, and today they did not know how to lose.
Down 5-2 entering the 9th inning. They score 4 in the 9th and end up winning game 1 6-5. Great note, they are one of 2 teams to win a game when down 3 or more after 7. Mississippi State. That worked out pretty well for the Dogs as they ended up winning the whole thing in 2019. How much do you think that super regional experience against Oregon paid off in this one?
But I mean, when you get used to winning and you get yourself down and you get walked off sometimes, it shows you how tough you are. The fact they came back and won the next 2 told me all I need to know about this team. It is a gritty, gritty bunch.
All right, Danny.
Carl, thank you. Blaze Brothers, what were the emotions when you came home to greet your teammates after that go-ahead?
Pure excitement, and I wanted to celebrate with my boys.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are down in the 8th inning. What were those conversations like when you go back out for the 9th?
I mean, we've been this way all year. Don't matter if we're up 8 or down 8. Just got to keep grinding through everything, the ups and downs. Don't be on the emotional roller coaster.
How important is winning game 1 and winning this as the 4 seed?
It's big time. It don't matter what seed we are, but at first win, always good.
Your last name, Brothers. I mean, this is obviously a band of brothers. Your senior year. What is so special about the Golden Eagles?
Everything. I mean, brotherhood, the camaraderie is just unreal. I'm so happy to be a part of this team. It's been an awesome senior season.
Hey, you just watched Cade Denton come back out for the 9th. There was a meeting on the mound. What did Coach Fulmer say to him?
He was just like, we're good, relax, have fun, get after this guy right here, and we'll win.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.